Hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is a podcast
Hello.
of us, people,
Yes, what's it
places,
called?
things, called Far Off Films.
Yeah.
It's our homage to the 90s, I guess, or 80s. I don't remember what phrase that is, but also for the fact that we're,
Nostalgia.
yeah, nostalgia, but we're all from
It's
very
just like
different
Ready Player
places.
One.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Ready Player One, except there's no uh girl with a birthmark over her eye or whatever. Um, and we don't go to The Shining. What were we talking about? Oh
Bullshit.
yeah, yeah. So we're called Far Off Films because we talk about movies, and we're all from different countries, and we're very far away from each other. I'm from the great place of the USA. Go
Wow.
America.
Yeah. Um, I'm Jules from the channel that I regret naming the Walrus Man
Oh
every
shit, I
day.
forgot to introduce myself. I should have done that before. I'm
Yeah.
Timmy from Tim Jong-un Productions. Well,
Yeah.
hello. Yeah.
This is gonna be such a disorganized intro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
do better
Jules
next
from the
time. Yeah.
channel. I'm Jules from the channel that I regret naming the Walrus Man every day. And I'm from Australia.
Nice. And I'm Luca. Um, I'm trans. I think that's an important thing to say. Um,
Yes, we should
Very important.
set that out
I
like right
should set
away.
that out
Yeah.
that I probably sound like a dude, but everyone that's watching this, I'm not. That's just because of my voice. That doesn't define who I am. So I go by they, she pronouns, and I'm from South Africa, which is down at the bottom of
Nice.
the world. Yeah.
No, I'm at the bottom of the world,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
technically
we're
you're
both at the
closer
bottom.
to Antarctica than either of us, I think.
Yeah, we get fucking winds that blow up part from Antarctica, and they'll come to us. It
Yeah,
sucks.
same. That's how we get
Mhm.
cold fronts and stuff, I think. I don't know. I don't actually know how it works. But anyways, we have a lot to
So,
talk about, so
yeah, before we begin, can I ask, Jules, you regret calling your channel the Walrus. Can I ask, like,
I think
why
that's a
you
great
called your
name.
channel the Walrusman, and like,
Oh,
how much
okay. So
speed were you on when you came up with that channel name?
this requires us to go back to 2014 because I just started playing. Do you guys remember Clash of Clans?
I mean, who doesn't remember playing
Yeah,
Clash of Clans?
yeah. So I set up my Clash of Clans account, um, and I was like, what animals do I like? Because I was like, I'll just make myself an animal. I was like, okay, walrus, and then I just set myself up, and I was like, I'll add two numbers at the end, and I set myself up as Walrus 24, and that sort of became my like online alias name. And then like a few years ago, when I set up my YouTube channel, um, I did I went to do the same name again, and then it wouldn't let me do 24. So I was like, okay, 25. It didn't let me do that either. Then 26. So I was just like, okay, I'm Morris 26 now. And then I made
Nice.
stuff for a while that I look back on in disgust and shame. And I changed my name to the Walrus Man, which I don't know why. I don't know. I was just uncreative that week, and it's just stuck with me ever since.
Nice.
Alright, that's yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Thank
like
you
a
for
That's
giving
my
first
your
it's like
origin
a
story.
cringe first
superhero origin.
it's like a cringe first gamer name that just stuck forever.
Exactly, that I just can't get rid of now.
Yeah, that you just didn't get rid of. Alrighty.
Most of my friends just still refer to me as Walrus 26.
I mean, uh, honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you could have been stuck with like worse names. You could have been like Mountain Dew is awesome for 2069,
You
something like
know,
that.
you know what's funny? My original Clash of Clans name that I considered was going to be something like Creamy Pies 12.
Oh
In
God, Jesus.
retrospect,
I'm
in
glad you didn't go with
retrospect,
that
I'm
one.
so glad I didn't choose that one.
Alright.
Well, Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I just wanted to know. I was just very interested. Uh,
How did you become Tim Jong-un Productions?
that's a great question. I'm gonna keep mine short because we have a lot of things to talk about today. So basically, my origin story is that a long time ago in high school, I was a part of a tennis team,
Oh,
and there was essentially just this racist joke going on where I essentially looked like Kim Jong Un, the current North Korean dictator from South Korea. Wait, no, North Korea. Sorry,
North Korea, the
Jesus.
North Korean
I
dictator from South Korea.
Yeah, yeah. He became the dictator of South Korea and North Korea. Yeah,
Oh God,
basically,
together.
I was a bit chunky of a boy, even more so than I am now. But yeah, that was just the joke that went on. I was like, look, it's Kim Jong-un and all that stuff. And at first I was kind of like really offended by that, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, that's actually kind of funny in like a really dark way. So I've just been using that for like everything. So like the first time I used Tim Jong Un. It was like for basically when I started playing League and I like used that as my username, like Tim
Yeah.
Jong Un 515 or whatever. And then I stopped playing League because I stopped being 15.
Obvious reasons.
Um, yeah, but I like the username so much I've literally used it for everything. So I used it for my Instagram, well, not my Instagram, but like my Twitter, my letterbox, and then when I kind of formed my channel, I was like, what should I call this? Got it. Tim Jong-un Productions. Sounds catchy. And yeah, that's my origin story, I guess. So
Yeah.
uh,
All right.
yeah, I didn't know if you guys had questions or something, but there's not much to it beyond that. So
We get on to some other stuff. I got some stuff I want to show you.
sure, unless Luca really wants to share her channel name or whatever. So
Oh yeah.
No, I don't have anything to say about my name. It's fine.
just
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it was kind of
just your
simple.
name and then films. Yeah.
Just it's like Lucasfilms, except not the Star Wars one. It's me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I
it's like
get.
a play
Okay,
on
that's
words.
clever. That's
Ah.
clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty smart. But
Hmm.
that's all I have to say about that. Yes.
All right, so I was put in charge of finding like movie news and also weird shit. I found some weird shit. It's
Yeah.
kind of old news at this point, but assuming you guys
It's good
saw,
to talk about it. Yeah.
assuming you guys saw the former Japanese prime minister that got assassinated. That was pretty
Yeah.
big.
What?
Yeah. Shinzo Abe.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
yeah.
you're not aware of this?
No, I
Didn't
was.
know.
I am aware. I am
You,
aware. I just
you just
blanked
had to
out.
think about it for a
Yes.
second. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna read you this headline. Um, Timmy's already seen this, unfortunately. But Hideo Kojima misidentified as Shinzo Abe's assassin.
I don't understand.
So
Ah,
yeah, basically, who was it? Like a French, some like European prime minister,
no,
like
no, no,
far
no, no.
right
You're getting
politician.
too far ahead. It
Oh,
was it was 4chan who just said he
it's
looks like Kojima.
4chan. Jesus.
It was 4chan who just said he looks like Kojima, and also some people on Twitter, and then that spread to like I think it was like a news outlet reported on it from Greece, and then you said this far right French politician.
Yeah, and then this far right politician just posted pictures of Hideo Kojima and just said this person killed Shinzo Abe, even though he clearly didn't.
I think it was
Unless
because
like,
the guy in the photo that everyone was circulating was wearing a mask, so you can't actually like really see his face.
oh, okay, that's rich. Yeah, whatever. Whatever excuse you want to give yourself. So. I
Uh,
just don't understand. Like, I thought we were just kind of past this. The whole sorry, you just kind of all look alike or whatever. Like, does
yeah, I
Hideo
know.
Kojima look really that similar to whoever killed Shinzo Abe? Like, is this are we being for real right now?
No.
Yeah, unless like Hideo Kojima is like a secret like you know camouflage person, like a shapeshifter.
He's
Like
going
I
Metal
just
Gear Solid in real life.
he's gone full Metal Gear Solid, yeah. Then like I don't know what to say to this. It's just other than this is stupid, you know? So
It's so stupid. Did you guys see the gun that the guy actually used to shoot Abe? Like
I
it's like
might have,
it's like a
yeah.
homemade one. It looks like it's comes straight out of like a Fallout New Vegas like work table.
I
Like,
know
I'll just put
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it looked like
Wow.
something I would like put together if I was like 6 and I had like no idea what a gun looked like. So
yeah, I just put it in the chat.
yeah, that's real rich. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's Kojima. That's Kojima right there.
That's Kojima for you, I guess. Doing a real Metal Gear Solid shit, so. Uh,
It's just some viral marketing for Death Stranding too.
yeah, I guess so. No, this is his revenge for Silent Hills being canceled.
I couldn't get Konami, so I'm just gonna get the Prime Minister
Yeah,
instead.
killing the president of Konami is harder than killing the prime minister. Wow. Uh, Luca, do you have anything to add to
Nope,
whatever this is? I guess so.
not really.
That's fair.
He's just taking it all in. He's like,
hmm
all right,
Well, yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. So,
so one other
uh,
thing. Did
yeah,
you guys
I
see the
needed a
Lord
good
of the
laugh.
Rings trailer?
Mhm.
Did you guys see the Lord of the Rings trailer yesterday?
I did. I did. Yeah.
You see it, Luca?
Nope.
Oh,
I feel like so disconnected, but no. I don't
No,
really like
it's fine.
watching
You're not.
trailers, honestly.
That
So,
that's that's actually fair.
fair.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess we could just talk about like our feelings about just like this upcoming Lord of the Rings show just in general. Like,
Yeah.
like so Jules and I have seen the trailer and
Yeah,
uh
we took a
I'm a
little
little
bit.
more generous because not only am I a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I just have to hope that like if Amazon has spent $1 billion on this Lord of the Rings show, like there has got to be some level of production value in this entire show. Like even if the
Yeah,
writing just sucks ass, like the show at least can't look dog shit because otherwise, like I don't know what we're spending this $1 billion on anyway. So, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even the first season, it's like $456 million budget. That's the most expensive media product like of all time. Just that first season.
Damn.
So
Really? Fuck.
yeah,
Well, I can't wait to see how they fuck it up with all that money.
yeah. Because it reminded me more of like the like all the sweeping shots of like the city and stuff. It reminded me more of like gross CGI on The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies.
That's what it looked like, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think taking outside like the CGI. I just think that like certain things I did kind of appreciate, like the places where I just assumed are like on-site locations. Like it looked
yeah,
real enough, and I mentioned like I liked the lighting of what they've done so far.
mm,
Um, the effects don't look great, but I am just hoping
yeah.
that it's just a teaser and hopefully they'll be
Yeah, maybe they're
done.
not finished yet.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming out
yeah,
in September. That's like 2 months away. Like,
yeah. I
in
mean,
visual effect
hope.
time, that's probably not that long.
I mean, I just have to hope some production value. Otherwise, what are we spending $1 billion on? I guess
Yeah,
nothing. It's like when they made
Is there
Space
any
Jam
big
2
name
and that movie
actors?
had like 250. Yeah, it's like Space Jam 2 had like $250 million budget, but the movie looked like absolute dog shit. It's like, what the fuck did we spend $250 million on then? If not, like, I don't know, the
LeBron.
visual effects and the animation, that's what I would do, but I guess not. I guess they're, I guess they spent most of the money on like foods and crafts or something like that, so
They just spent it all on LeBron and his basketball hoop.
yeah, that's fair too, as well.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, like, I'm kind of conflicted on this because I love like Lord of the Rings probably more than the average guy. Like, I think
Me too.
Fellowship, the Fellowship of the Ring is probably the greatest film of all time in my eyes.
Oh wow.
Um,
I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, I mean, I love the trilogy in general, but I think like Fellowship is definitely my favorite. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's like my favorite film. I don't think
all
anything will.
time.
Yeah, of all time
Oh
for
wow,
sure.
okay, that's
Oh,
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
what are
it's
you
like,
in
Luca,
now?
are you as
and
big of a fan of Lord of the Rings as me and Jules are, or?
I haven't seen them in a while, um, but I do remember liking them quite a lot. But again, I haven't seen them since I was like, I don't even know how long, since I was quite young. So they are something that I have to revisit definitely at some point in my life.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Maybe
really
we'll
recommend
visit
them.
them on this podcast. Who
I mean,
knows?
yeah, if
There's
that
no.
show's
Yeah,
coming out, like, I guess there's a reason
did
to
want to
watch
talk
them
about the Hobbit
again.
trilogy at one
So,
point.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to that because I will defend two-thirds
we'll
of
have
those
to do like a
films.
huge episode,
Oh yeah, I do.
like with the
That'd be a very
show and
controversial
the.
episode.
Yeah, just like dogpile Lord of the Rings with Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. mm.
but
All
yeah,
right. Is that all we have to say about Lord of the Rings, or do we have anything else to say?
Yeah, I'm conflicted because like I love it. I love Lord of the Rings, but like, man, oh, am I nervous about this? Like, this is
what do you think of The Hobbit?
The Hobbit. It's no Lord of the Rings, like it's no
Okay.
masterpiece, but like there is like a faint gem of what it's supposed to be there, like that you can see at times,
Hmm.
I don't
especially
think
in
they're
like
anywhere near as bad as people say because like people like comparing them to the Star Wars prequels. I don't think they're anywhere near that bad. Like I think there's a
yeah,
lot of like admirable things about those movies. Like even the third one, which is like a piece of shit in my eyes. Like there are still admirable aspects to the third film,
swear to
to
God
every
if you
Hobbit
say,
film.
I just
Yeah,
like
swear
the
to God if you say
dragon.
that the unexpected journey is like the best one, then I'm gonna.
I
That one,
mean,
that one is the
I
worst one.
you think Unexpected Journey's the worst one?
So boring. Nothing
I
happens.
don't know their names.
I
All I know
think.
is that I like the one with the dragon.
Oh, that's the second
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
everyone agrees that the second one is like the best one.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with that. Yeah, but I don't think the first one is nearly as boring as like you give it credit for. I think there are some fun aspects to it, like all
Yeah,
the Gollum stuff and
I remember
like
the climax at the end. Like I remember
I
really liking that.
yeah, when they throw like pine cones at like orcs and be like, hell yeah, if you just swap that out with like firecrackers, I've done
Yeah,
this at least once or twice in my life. So
I remember
and then chasing
watching.
Goblin Town, it was pretty goofy, but it was kind of fun.
hmm
I remember
Yeah,
watching the first Hobbit. Oh my god.
it's fine. Just let one of you just talk. Yeah.
I remember watching the
yeah, you go
first
first.
Hobbit without like understanding what the concept of a prequel was when I was younger. So I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like like isn't this dude old? Like I was very confused and I was like, wait, why is Gandalf doing this stuff when he was like doing this other stuff? And like I was just so confused.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I remember I had trouble understanding the idea that actors aren't just one character, like they play multiple characters.
Uh-huh.
Like I had a hard time wrapping my head around that.
Yeah.
So like I remember when I watched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, like they were just like some of my favorite things of all time. Like I loved Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. But I remember I don't remember when this was, but I think like a parent or a relative of mine like took me to go see Seabiscuit, and I didn't know Toby was in it. And throughout the entire movie, I was so confused. I was like, "Why is Spider-Man like with with like a horse or whatever?" Because I had no concept of the idea that like actors are in multiple things; they aren't just one character. So I was struggling to understand like, is this like when does this take place within like the Spider-Man trilogy timeline? And then it wasn't until like my dad had to explain to me like these are actors in like different things. Like you like Tobey Maguire is not just Spider-Man, and my mind was blown when I discovered that. I was like, holy shit.
How is this connected to the MCU? Where's the post-credit thing?
Yeah, I was doing that even before the MCU
Even before it
existed.
was a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Uh,
That's great.
Speaking of
Yeah.
things that blow our mind, the new trailer for Makoto Shinkai's newest film
Oh, I
has
didn't see
dropped.
it.
Oh, you guys
Oh yeah,
didn't see it?
yeah, I didn't see it.
No.
How is it?
Okay, I guess so. Yeah, it's the film's called
Really
Suzume no Tojimari. I guess that's what it's called. Um, and like the general premise, from what I understand, is that like there's a 17-year-old girl who like meets this mysterious stranger and something about like closing a door or whatever, and then like it's kind of like a time travel, not time travel, like cross-dimensional, you know, adventure thing, sci-fi film,
Right.
whatever. The point is, I don't really give a shit what it's about. All I know is that it's Makoto Shinkai's newest film, and I'm gonna see it the moment it comes out because I
It's
love this man. So
coming
All
out
right.
in Japan in November,
yeah, but it
and
doesn't come out until the States until like I think January or February. I don't remember,
oh
and
god,
that pisses me off. I really want to see this as soon as I can. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
definitely
mean,
check
I
it
still
out.
haven't got Crimes in the Future. Like that still hasn't come to Australia yet.
really, okay.
Yeah, no,
No,
The
yeah,
Australian release
that's not
system
in South
sucks.
Africa either. I don't
Oh, yeah.
think.
I don't think the Black Phone has showed up for either of you either, right?
No, the Black Phone's
No, yeah, Black Phone's been
it's
here.
coming
Black
in like a
Phone's
few
been here.
days.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to mention that I'm a huge fan of his films, so much so that I actually made a video about four of his films on my channel. Not to
Good
jerk
plug.
myself off or anything, but I did that, so check it out. But yeah, I how familiar are you guys with Makoto Shinkai? I know Luca, you've seen Your Name and Weathering with You, but I don't know what you think, Jules.
Your Name is on my. I need to check out his
You've
filmography.
never seen either. You've never seen Your Name or Weathering with You.
I've not seen any of his films.
Okay, well, that now all the more reason to push
I
those
know.
recommendations
Yeah.
Yep,
sooner rather than later. Then yeah, so
yeah.
uh,
So I can
I
get in on this culture.
mhm.
I know I've also made a video on two of his two of Makoto Shinkai. I did like a video comparing with you and Your Name, and that was when I was like, it wasn't even that long ago, but that's when I was like still getting into film and stuff.
Mhm.
So I like I'd watched a bunch of stuff, but that's when I thought like anything that had pretty animation was just the best thing in the world. Um, so my thoughts on those movies have kind of like went down quite a lot since that video. Like in that
Yeah, I
video,
realized
I
that.
was
Yeah,
like,
because
oh
Yeah,
like
my
you were
god,
very
I
it's your
fucking
positive
most
love
on
viewed
these
that
video.
video.
movies
Yeah.
so much. Um,
It's your
and
most viewed video.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
more
I'm
than
thinking
our
of taking
Pinocchio
it down
one.
because it's like it's not even my proper reflections of those films anymore. I think I still love Weathering with
Oh,
You, quite a bit. I still think it's better than Your Name. I think Your Name has kind of
Really?
fallen off
Okay.
the map for me. Um, but I still
That's
like
actually
it.
interesting to hear
I still like the
because
music.
people kind of say the opposite. Like Weathering with You is all over the map, but like Your Name is like very tightly paced and um like very like single direction, I guess that makes sense. So that's surprising to
I
hear.
mean,
I like both movies, so like it doesn't really matter to me, but that's a surprising thing to hear,
even
you know.
though I don't love those movies as much, I still think the things that I say in that video still stand. So, yeah,
they
Hmm.
still hold up.
still hold
Yeah.
up, yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's me. Um,
Yeah, no, I just thought I'd bring that up as Makoto Shinkai's number one fan. And I plan on recommending both of those films at some point in this podcast, so
Yeah, I'll be
be
happy
on
to
the
watch
lookout
them.
for that. Yeah, so
well, yeah, when
No,
that
you
new
guys are
one
gonna
comes
love
out.
the thing I've got ready to recommend at the end of the episode.
Hmm.
All right.
Speaking of things that we like, Men, the new the new
Okay, we're doing men
Alex
Alex.
first. All
Garland.
right.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. One of you can introduce it. I
I'll do
guess.
it. I'll
We
do it.
saw the new Alex Garland film Men. What did
Yeah,
we all think of? What do we think of Men in
man.
general?
In
Do you like
general,
men?
Do we like men?
I mean,
Yeah, sure, no one's ever made that joke before.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
stop
like
making that
men.
joke now.
Oh,
I love men. considering I have a
Yeah, we all
boyfriend,
love
like,
men.
I love men as well.
Yeah.
some of them are
So
shitty, um, but hey, um, yeah. But the movie,
so
so pretty
who's
much,
gonna give a synopsis?
I'll do it because I think I like it the
Yeah.
best out of everyone, so it's only fitting. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's about this lady named Harper. Um, she kind of retreats to this nice little English village because she suffers from a recent tragedy. And she goes there for a sense of escape, but it turns out that is the exact opposite of what happens when she begins getting stalked by a man, and a whole bunch of shit just spirals out of control. From director Alex Garland, as we mentioned, who this is definitely his most divisive film. Just
Yep.
based on the conversation I'm assuming we're about to have, I can say that
Yeah.
easily. He previously directed Ex Machina and Annihilation, which a lot of people seem to love. And yeah, spoilers, I guess, for men.
Well,
Yeah, we can't really talk about the movie without spoiling it. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
spoiler warning. Yeah.
I love this movie a lot. Um, I saw it in a theater just a few days ago. Just like expecting the like lukewarm reception it's been getting. I went out of it and I loved it. And then I watched it again, and I think I've watched it 3 times now. Um,
Three
Wow,
times.
3 times, Jesus! I didn't
yeah.
want to see this again. So
Um,
that's amazing, yeah.
well, maybe I
I
will
saw it
skew
twice.
your opinions. Um, and yeah, I just loved it a lot. I think it's getting a lot of flack for, I guess, appropriate reasons. I do have a few criticisms with it. But yeah, I really
If you
liked it, and I
didn't,
think
if you
it's
didn't have those criticisms, would it be like a 10 out of 10 for you?
um no, I don't think so. Um,
Yeah, 'cause I saw
Yeah,
your rating. You
yeah. I
gave it a
also
9
saw
out of
we'll
10.
save
that
that.
was
We'll save that
very
for
what?
later.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We could say that
but
for
yeah, it's
later.
easily my favorite Alex Garland movie. And yeah, before I go in depth, just what did you guys think of it?
Uh,
You go first, Timmy.
I thought it was a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I thought it was okay. I didn't hate the movie. I'll say that. I think there's way too much good stuff about the film going for it that I would say that I hate it, but I think it's still a bunch of nonsense. I thought it was really far up its own ass. I thought it was I was interested for the first like 30 to 40 minutes. Like the first like 30 to 40 minutes I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Like I like where this is going. I want to
Mhm.
see like how they develop oh god, what's her name again?
Harper.
Papa.
Uh yeah, no, yeah, I guess so, but what's her
Jesse
actress? I
Buckley.
guess Harper, yeah.
Jesse Buckley.
Yes, that was it. Jesse Buckley's character. I was like, okay, like let's see where they develop her character. Let's see where this goes. But then it goes nowhere. Like the most that she gets in terms of character development was that she was abused by her husband and then he committed suicide. Like that's it. Like we don't know much else about her, and like I'm not like expecting like like a PowerPoint history lesson about her character, but I kind of need more than just she suffered trauma for me to give a shit about anything that was going on. And clearly this is a movie that's like very style over substance. At least I thought it was very style over substance. Like, like the whole like Rory Keener or whatever his name is, like he's playing multiple characters and stuff like that. Like I mean all of his performances were really good, but just the way that just like it kind of goes about like that process, it was just a bunch of bullshit. Like it was really stupid, and especially like the last like 20 to 30 minutes where it was just like a bunch of like
Oh no, that was the best
men
part.
birthing men. Like I get like the point it's trying to go for, but it's just like it's so on the nose. It's just beating you over the head over and over again. It was so fucking annoying. And like like I mean I appreciated it from like a visual perspective, but there was literally nothing for me to like give a shit about. Like I like body horror. Like I like John Carpenter, I like David Cronenberg, I like to 10 and all this stuff. But it's like what I like about those things is that like even though there's all this fantastical elements going on, there's still like a story to ground it together. But here it's like there's nothing to ground it. It's just a bunch of bullshit and then the movie ends. Like what am I supposed to get out of that? So, and we can go more in depth, but like that's just kind of what I have to say for now. So,
All right.
Yeah, I'm I am right down the middle on this film. I think, yeah, I have a lot of the same issues as you, Timmy. Obviously not, I don't have them as big as you, but I think it's like the effects and just the way this film is crafted is like it's too good like not to ignore. Like the color palette, like the cinematography, like all of it, like the special effects, like the body horror stuff, like all of it is fantastic. But yeah, I do have some of the same problems as you with like the story and stuff, and the development of the lead. Like I did have that problem with you. I thought Rory Kinnear, like I think he's honestly the best thing in this film. Like the way he does all those
oh yeah,
characters, like
definitely. Him and Jesse Buckley were easily like the best things about
yeah,
the films, aside from like the cinematography, which was also like pretty
really good.
dope. I'll give it that as well. So.
Yeah, like when I went and saw it the second time, I went with a friend, and he didn't realize that it was him playing like all the characters until I told him like after the film. Um,
Hmm.
Well, I loved
yeah,
it. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't know. I think the main problem with this movie is its title, honestly, because
same.
I think there's a lot
That's fair. Yeah.
more to the film that than just Men Bad. I think the religious exploration of it and the
Yeah,
themes that it tells and a lot of aspects about it. I think it's a lot more than that. There's like really interesting themes about trauma and how people act in situations like that. Um, there's
I
really
mean, I didn't.
interesting like
Yeah.
religious things like that, and I think the title just doesn't do the film justice because I've been having this thought in my head like obviously because of the title people are going into it thinking oh this movie's only going to be men bad, and then they see the stuff in the movie and they're like okay that's exactly what it was, just a bunch of pretentious bullshit. But I
yeah.
like, do you guys think you would have
Yeah.
had a different experience if the title was different and the men bad aspects of the film weren't like shoved down your throat because of the title and were just a part of the movie along with the other things that the movie's trying to express?
Not really. I
Because
the if anything, the title was what intrigued me about the film. Like, I don't think to me like the title had nothing to do with the film. Like,
all
it's
right,
just like how it
Yeah.
went about it. Because like like Last Night in Soho is like it's not like oh men are bad in like England or whatever. Like it's like it has an interesting title and like in ways like this felt very similar to Last Night in Soho. Just like
yeah.
a lot of like stylistic like horror elements and like like women going under trauma, but it's like it just falls under the same problems with me. It's just like it's like it has this cool premise and it has like a lot of like glossy like eye candy and stuff like that, but again like I don't give a shit about really any of that if I don't care about what's going on. Like I understand that the movie's not just like oh men are all bad or whatever. Like there's clearly a lot that it's going for. It's like
It's trying to
it's
say a
very
lot more than that.
scatter yeah, it's like it's very scattershot, like how like religion like plays into it. Like there's some elements about like like there's a literal like fucking metaphor where it's like oh the apple doesn't fall far from the trees just like men don't men will be boys or whatever. It's like I fucking get it, like I understand. I just wish there was more of a point. Like I just wish there was something for me to care about because like I appreciate a lot of movies like this where it's like they clearly have a lot to say. They clearly like want to communicate something as like horrific as like trauma and like domestic abuse and stuff like that. But again, like if I don't care about the characters and if there's no like story to really ground anything for me, not to say that there isn't story, just like there needs to be more than what was in the film, I guess is what I'm saying, because like it just felt like a bunch of shit happened and then the film ends. Like and if that's what you like, then good on you. But like, I kind of need more than that, is what I'm saying. So.
I don't think we mentioned as well the music. That was like,
Well,
I
yeah, it
think
was
honestly that might have
fantastic.
been that was also like one of the best
I
parts of
did
the
like
film.
the music. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
yeah.
technical stuff are really great.
I
I
mean,
just
yeah,
wish I
every
cared. Is what I'm
technical
saying.
aspect
Yeah.
about it is fantastic. Especially the
I can
lighting as
I've got
well.
like I can remember like most of the bits of music in my mind. Like they're just so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think my favorite part was when Jessie Buckley's character, she like goes into the tunnel and she does
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my favorite part as well.
like that was really cool. You know,
And then
again, yeah.
That was
the guy
great.
that's running
And they
towards her, and he
actually they
does
actually
the
sampled like her actual voice to do that, which is so cool.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And that
hmm
sequence as a whole, like I think it's really great, like how like she's kind of like, in this darkness and then at the other side like there's this sense of light, but obviously in the middle, in the way, there's this fucking dude in the tunnel. And
yeah.
that part like genuinely scared me. Like I think this was a very successfully scary horror movie to me. Like I haven't been scared in a while by a horror movie, and this one kind
It's
of
a
just
different
did
kind
it
of
for
fear.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie
Yeah.
like I was like on my edge of my seat. I was like, damn, this movie's like pretty freaky. And that's what I liked about it. Um,
hmm
and yeah, I don't know.
I guess like
I just connected to this movie.
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think an important part to mention is like literally right after I watched this movie, I I had a bad experience with a man, like in public. I and
Oh.
and I was just like, fuck. Like literally after watching Men, like there could have been a way less shittier time for this, but yeah, I think what the film is saying is important, and I think I do agree that maybe the subjects and themes are a bit like way over exaggerated and a bit in your face, but this film does have like this weird like uncanny feeling to it, and I think it's expressing a lot of important things in a very like I don't want to say the word fun, but like very interesting and creative way, like through all these different metaphors and stuff. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I think it could have really easily just been like the same thing, except without like the just surrealism and intentionally like absurd things about it that made it like pretty great in my
Yeah.
opinion.
At
Mhm.
the end, I was just going like, oh, what fucking insane thing is gonna happen here?
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, after like the second or third birth, when it still kept going, I was just like rolling my eyes. I was like, Jesus, like
yeah,
just
even
wrap it
the
But
up,
that's
Alex.
a
Come
part of like the
on.
themes. Like I don't know. I think I kind of saw the birth scene as like how like men like kind of overimpose themselves in situations like that, and like I almost saw that scene as like a mansplaining thing. Like the dude is just carry on going. Like eventually Jessie Buckley just gets fucking fed up. She's like, fuck this shit. I'm done with this.
she just goes
Like
to have a rest inside the house.
yeah, she just goes and
Yeah.
sits on the couch and she's like, and I love that ending where like it all the births like eventually come up to be like her husband, and then
Her
he's like,
ex-husband, yeah.
all I want, and she's like, what do you want from me? And he's like, your love, and she's like, "Pff." Yeah, like she's just given up, like she's just fucking, and that's like a sad
She's too
reality, and
tired.
like yeah, I fucking loved how
Yeah, I
the
mean,
film ended.
I
Um,
it's just that like conceptually, it's just like I get what you're saying, and like I guess like you guys like explaining this to me, like it's making me recontextualize things a little bit, but like again,
mm,
it's like
yeah,
for me to be terrified by that, for me to get scared, I just have to give a shit, and I just didn't. Like, it's like when I was watching that like birthing scene, it reminded me of like the pregnancy scene from Ten, where like
yeah,
the main girl like birthed like the car baby and shit like that. Like it was
Ugh.
going for like something similar to that, but I cared way more about what was happening in Ten, because I felt like not only did I care about the characters, but it's like beyond just like weird shit like that, like girls fucking cars, and then like car babies like coming out of like vaginas and stuff like that. Like there was like something deeper, and there was something more like like intense that I really appreciated, and there's just none of that in Men. Like I wish there was that, like there was meat into 10, and it was lacking that in this film. I just wish there was something I could really like sink my teeth into. So
All right.
Yeah, I think yeah, as you said, like the scariest scene was like the scene in the tunnel because like
Yeah.
that's the most like naturally like scary thing to a lot of people.
hmm
It's like what scares me. Like I don't normally get scared in movies because I'm like I don't fear like the supernatural, but like when you show me something that's it's like oh shit, this could
That
actually
could be
happen. It's like
real.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually yeah, that's real. Like that's kind of scary. Like
hmm
and there's nothing more scary than just like this like guy is just running towards you in this like dark tunnel. He's kind
that
of like
was kind of terrifying. I'll give it
Yeah,
that.
that was
Yeah.
that was
So
yeah, I love that
haunting.
sound that it made.
Yeah.
hmm
I love that there was also like a
and I
very faint version of the scream, like after Jesse Buckley like hums once, there's like a very faint like ah, and then
I didn't realize that.
yeah,
yeah.
and then as it goes on, like you hear the dude and they're screaming. There's actually a lot of shots where this guy is in that that you might not notice. It's kind of creepy when you watch it again, like
Yeah, I
like
didn't
there's this
notice. I
one
didn't pick up
shot
Yeah,
where
on
she
that.
I
like
can
looks back
imagine.
into the
Yeah.
forest and there's like a little cave. Like he's actually like standing in that fucking cave. Like it's so creepy. It's so I'm getting
Oh,
chills like actually
Oh
thinking
wow.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
like
realize that.
hmm
I know it's insane.
hmm
um
And I will give the movie this though. Like aside from that tunnel scene, there was one other thing that did kind of get a reaction out of me. It was when Rory Keeter like puts his hand through like the mail slot, and
oh
then like Jesse
yeah, that
Buckley
was
like takes
awesome.
the knife and like essentially rips it apart. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. And they keep that, like, because like all the other like versions like have like the torn apart like hand and arm or whatever. I was like, this is kind of cool. Like I guess I kind of like this. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a pretty good scene.
mhm.
Do you
Um
guys like the scene where the fucking the naked man like just kind of like walks
Which one?
around
There were
her?
like a ton of them.
The one where he just like goes and he just like he's just kind of like strolling through the backyard and then
Oh yeah,
he
I
yeah,
found
yeah.
that
touches
kind of
That
goofy at
her.
first, but then I it warmed
Yeah.
up to me. I liked it. I like that they didn't do like this annoying thing like the girl on the phone like sees it and she's like, oh, Hopper behind you. I thought they were gonna do
Yeah, like I
that,
was
yeah,
and
gonna
like some
then
say that.
shitty like
yeah,
Blumhouse horror movie or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah.
hmm
I did find it
I
kind of
will say
ridiculous
this
that she
though, I,
like didn't
I,
notice
I
it for
mean,
like that long.
I did like this more than Last Night in Soho. I think they're about on the same level, but I think I prefer this over Last Night in Soho. So I'll give the movie that.
Really?
So, yeah.
So I haven't
Um,
seen that one, so
yeah.
to
Oh,
see
you
how
don't
it
need to.
compares.
It's not worth watching.
I'll probably watch it just because it's Edgar Wright.
Okay.
That's why you shouldn't watch it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we can. That's besides the point. Cool. Yeah.
I
Luca, do you want to talk
yeah,
more
I still
about?
have a
You
little
want to
bit.
gush more
I'll
about
just
it?
go
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
on a quick little
No, no,
ramble.
no. It's okay. Take your time. Yeah. Go.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
First thing, I think I think um the setting is also like a very important part to the story and what
hmm
the movie's trying to say. Cause like there is like these small communities like that are just like fucking highly misogynistic, like no fucking women live there. Like just consist of a church and a pub and a few houses. Um, so yeah, um, I think like the film is kind of like a commentary on those kind of settings, and that's why I think the birthing scene like means a lot more to me in that sense because it's kind of like showcasing how like men pass down like these and inherit these toxic like traits and stuff like that. But I think it's that type of stuff especially happens in like smaller communities like that where there's no really
Yeah, like the way they're all like the way they're all looking at her when she went into the pub.
yeah, like these isolated areas that don't really have like a sense of um like knowledge about stuff like that. And I think yeah, I think that
You don't know what's right and wrong.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think the
hmm
setting is a very important part. Um, yeah. So I think that's one thing. I really liked all the different set pieces and like the woods and stuff and like yeah, and then like each new location had like a different portrayal of like a shitty stereotype. And yeah, I don't know.
It's funny. Um, After I saw it, like a few days after, I went to my cousin's house, which is like in the middle of like nowhere, just in
Oh
the middle of
no.
like the Australian like bush. And
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is kind of like, sort of like, is there like a man following me or something?
Is a man
But,
gonna jump out the bushes and chase
yeah,
after you? Yeah.
but I don't have to worry about like snakes and shit. I've got to worry about like Rory Kinnear like naked just jumping out of a bush.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm
yeah.
just really glad that like all the Kinnear characters aren't named like Adam or whatever, and like Jesse Buckley's character is
Was
named like
Eve?
Eve.
Yeah.
That would have been so on the nose. I would have been like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank God that didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all the performances
Mhm.
are great, like you said. Jesse Buckley absolutely fucking is slaying it recently. Like, I can
Yeah.
watch
First, I'm
anything
thinking
she's
of ending
in.
things, and then this. Yeah. So.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, she's good in The Lost Daughter as well. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
I still haven't seen that. That's I heard it's pretty good. That's on my watch list. Yeah.
yeah, that was a great movie from last year.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at my notes. And then just one last quick thing. We talked about the visual elements. I think this is Alex Garland's best presented movie. Like honestly, like
Yeah,
the
I would agree with
cinematography is
that. Yeah.
great, and I loved so many of the shots. My favorite shot was like at the end when she's like on the road and she's like behind this like astral plane in the sky. Like that just looked fucking amazing. Like that could be my
It's
computer
beautiful.
wallpaper. Like
Hmm.
I loved that. I loved the sense of scenery, and I loved the use of lighting within the certain scenes. Um, like
Where she's walking around the forest
yeah,
looks really good.
like it's
It's
all
beautiful,
green
like
and
the
bright
color
when she's
palette.
walking around the forest to like represent the sense of like freedom, and then the film only turns red within its lighting in very specific moments. So in the flashback, there's like this red lighting, and then it comes back at the end of the film to kind of like represent that she's going through the same sense of trauma again. And at the end of the film, there's like these like repeated shots of her like um like leaving the house in different ways. And like in the beginning of the film, she suggests that like this is something that she experiences a lot of times, and kind of how suggesting that she has to relive this trauma. And yeah, I don't know. And at the very end of the film, there was like this pan shot that was like revealing the damage of the car as her friend was arriving, and I thought I was gonna get so mad because I thought they were gonna be like, oh no, they're gonna pan to the car and the car's gonna be completely fixed and it's gonna be like none of this ever happened, um, but they didn't do that, and I'm thankful for it. And I also am kind of glad that they left it kind of ambiguous of whether or not
Yeah,
like
and
it
she was
was
holding the
real.
clover,
Hmm.
like the
Yeah,
leaf man was.
yeah. Um, and even
I bet
though
every time you saw
this whole
the
movie
leaf man,
is like
he had more leaves on him.
oh yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff with like those statues, like if you do a bit of research on them. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and I like that they also didn't make like Jessie Buckley like this flawless like girl boss like woman. Like she definitely also had her flaws, and that's why I think like the
Hmm.
whole like film it's like it's more of a commentary on like both sides and both parties and what they experience in toxic relationships, and that's why I don't really like the title. And just
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
two little just minor critiques. Number one, the beginning of the film looks a lot like a car commercial, and number two, where
You don't like Priuses?
yeah, um,
Nicole Kidman's about to walk in and be like, just like
I thought that was gonna happen too. Yeah.
that.
and then number two, the guy jumping out the window just looked a bit janky. Like it looked pretty fucking weird.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Ah!
but that's it. That's it. I love this movie. And I liked its
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean
realism and
I'm glad that you love
the
it.
color in that opening scene was fantastic. Like
fantastic. Yeah,
the orange tint.
Yeah. I
yeah,
did find that I don't know, it was kind of unintentionally funny when when the guy kills himself.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I can
fucking like
definitely
Zack
see
Snyder
that.
slow-mo, like and they both like look at each other and then they're both I was like that I don't know if he was going for laughs for that one. I don't think he was, but
I mean,
if
I
he
think
wasn't, that
a
was
whole lot of the movie
can
is
see how that'd be
intentionally
unintentionally funny.
unrealistic. So yeah, I don't know though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I get that the movie's supposed to be absurd, but I was like, come on, Alex, like that one can't have been for laughs. Like, come on. So,
yeah.
And when that happened, my friend who he'd seen like none of the trailers or anything because I told him not to, and he just said I heard him say next to me, "It's raining men."
Oh my god.
Jesus,
Someone's got to make an
uh,
edit of that.
it's raining men.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. I'm ready to get into ratings. If you guys are,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Um, you guys can go first. You guys can fight it out.
I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. I'll. It's closer to a 6. Because I'll give it some credit for the nice cinematography and the music and the acting, but still, yeah, it's a 5 out of 10 for me. Closer to a 6 than a 4, but still a 5 out of 10 for me. So,
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna be a little brave on this one because I like it a bit more than you, Timmy. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
wow,
Wow.
very brave. Yeah.
I'm still on the fence about my rating. Um, when I'm feeling good about it, it can be a 9. It's probably like an 8 out of 10. 8 or 9 for me. Yeah,
Hmm.
I just liked it a
That's fair.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
Yeah.
we want to get on
Speaking
to
of, I was
yeah.
gonna come up with another
Speaking of
transition. I was really
men,
grasping at straws for that one. Yeah. Speaking of
Speaking of
men.
men,
Chris
Thor Love and
Hemsworth.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you guys take the
But
Chris
stage.
Hemsworth's ass.
yeah, I guess we're the only ones who have seen this. We probably won't talk about this long because it's a Marvel movie. Like, how much could we really talk about the film?
Yeah, just trash it
Other
and get
than
over with it.
this
Come on.
happened and that happened. Yeah.
Okay,
Jules, I'll let you go first.
before you guys go, did you like Thor more than men?
I gave
I
them
like
both
men
the
more.
same rating, so it
Okay.
doesn't really matter for me.
Okay.
I like men more.
Hmm.
Nice. Good. Okay.
Yeah. I at least didn't like men more than sorry, I didn't like Thor more than men. They were just the same rating for me. Yeah, so
Continue. Continue.
Yeah,
um
I so this is the fourth Thor movie directed by Taika Waititi.
oh, that's right. Yeah, because I keep forgetting fucking Thor: The Dark World exists because that movie's so fucking
Yeah,
forgettable. I keep forgetting there are 4 Thor movies. Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? This for? Jesus.
Yeah, now I used to think that it was pretty good that Marvel could just like stick to like just doing 3 films and like putting them in like ensemble films, but like I guess we're not doing that anymore because there's like now Thor 4 and there's a Captain America Force happening, but they're not
There's a
getting Chris
Captain
Evans.
America 4 happening?
Yeah, they're getting like what's it, Falcon? He's the new Captain
Oh my
America.
God, Jesus.
So it's a
Alright,
sequel
whatever.
to that series, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it, so I wouldn't have known that.
Shit, it's
Okay,
the worst
yeah.
Marvel series.
Nah, I think
I'll believe you.
So
Yeah.
it's
WandaVision
so
is
boring.
worse.
Sorry, which one's worse?
WandaVision is the worst one for me.
Really? Okay.
I
I've
think
never seen
WandaVision
any
has
of these Marvel shows, so like I
Yeah,
couldn't tell you
for
which one
some
I
reason
like
I
and which one
watched
I don't
them. I
like.
don't know why. I was just like,
I'm surprised you've watched them.
yeah,
Why did
I've
you watch
stopped watching them.
WandaVision?
I
Yeah.
think
Stopped
Marvel's
watching them. I haven't
bullshit.
watched Moon Knight. I didn't watch Hawkeye. I'm not watching Miss Marvel. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
give a
haven't
shit at
watched
this
that
point.
those things.
Yeah,
Probably
I'll give
watching it
Miss
at like
Marvel this. Good job using Blinding Lights by The Weekend. That was a good use of music. I'm assuming
I
because I
thought,
like that song. So
they use that one shot where the camera pans forward. Like all Marvel films, like all Marvel fans like jacking it off over Twitter because they saw one shot that like isn't completely static and like
Wow,
robotic.
crazy. You mean we did more than the bare minimum? Insane.
Holy shit, you can move cameras.
I didn't know that.
I thought
Uh,
the camera just you just held it.
well, yeah, so this is the fourth Thor film. It doesn't really matter. Christian
Now
Bale's white, and he kills gods.
He is.
And
he's the God Butcher.
Thor and Jane team up and use the power of Guns N' Roses and love, I guess, to kick his ass.
80s in the 80s.
Yeah. So, um, so here
Did
are
you
my
what?
thoughts about the film. So I don't think it was nearly as bad as everyone is saying it was. Like everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna hate this, man." I think Jules, you told me I was gonna hate this, but
Yeah,
I was
maybe
like,
because I hyped it up for you that you're gonna hate it.
yeah, and I was like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Like, if anything, I mean, it wasn't like good or anything. It wasn't great. It was just like another Marvel movie. I was expecting something like fucking horrendous. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, there were some things. I'll give it this. I did laugh in this film a little bit more than I expected to.
I laughed at a few things.
Yeah, but I guess it's because like I don't watch these Marvel shows, and I don't like analyze every frame of like a Marvel movie to find like 60 Easter eggs like in a single frame or some shit like most
Bro,
Marvel fans
what?
do.
Really?
Yeah,
You know, like new rock
yeah,
stars?
I know, crazy. Um, and
Everyone did that.
I think if I didn't like Guns N' Roses, I would find the soundtrack really fucking annoying. But like, I do like the band, I do like their music. So like, whenever it was played, I still thought it was like inappropriately used, but I still thought like the actual music itself was like it was fun, it was cool. You know, like it's nice to hear "Welcome to the Jungle" while Thor like slams his hammer against like people and stuff like that. So you
Like
know,
every time, like literally every time an action sequence started, there was just an 80s song would just kick in. It's like, oh, yep, here we go again.
yeah, I didn't understand like the points though, because like from what I understand, like I looked up some things about the movie, like Taika Waititi was going for like an 80s like synth style like pop culture like bright
Yeah,
colors movie, but like if
he did that
the
in Thor. He
soundtrack
did it
didn't
really well.
exist, you there's no way you could have figured that out. Like if you didn't watch the end credits or listen to the music, there's no way you could have figured that out. I was like, how that doesn't translate at all, you know? So
Did you like the visual effects? 'Cause that's been really
uh
controversial.
no,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. So I left in my review that like this film is like the Aquaman of Marvel movies. And I
No,
say that
I think
because
so, Aquaman.
the special effects in Aquaman are also dog shit, but they're also really fucking hilarious. And that's exactly how I felt about this movie. It's like the special effects are awful, but they're fucking hilarious to look at. It's like I can't believe
Yeah,
that like this is what Korg looks like at this scene, or like I can't
looks
believe
way
like the
be- he looks
special
way
effects
better
for
in the he looks
yeah,
way
how
better
did he
in the
look
last game.
better like what, like 4 years ago or some shit? Like how is that possible?
The Rock and him looks like so fake. It looks like just like man in suit. Like
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I found him funny in Ragnarok, but like now here he's just like every
expand
single
him.
fucking minute. Yeah, they just like it's just like I guess like Taika Waititi's just on a roll. You know, he's on like Our Flag Meets Death, and like you know he's in Free Guy, and then now he's like, oh wow, like people like funny Taika, so I'm gonna like spam a joke like every minute. Like just shut the fuck up, man. Like just direct the movie. Spend less time doing the shitty comedy, and spend more time directing and writing the movie.
Yeah, I mean he is in like pretty much every scene. It seems like
Yeah, even the action scenes somehow, if you can believe that. So
like he's supposed to be directing. Like it's
yeah, you should have spent more
Apparently,
time writing the script.
yeah, apparently people aren't really into this movie because Taika kind of lost his sense of style with it. I don't know if that's true because
yeah.
you guys have seen it, but
I guess because like
It's not as stylish as Ragnarok. I don't think.
yeah, and it's not
That
as funny as like some of his other films. Like
yeah
I laughed a lot when I saw like I don't know like What We Do in the Shadows and stuff like that. Like What We Do in the
yeah.
Shadows is a funny comedy, and there's just none of that here. I
yeah.
was just laughing because of how fucking stupid it was.
Oh,
Like it was
okay.
like Aquaman. It was like Aquaman was really stupid, but I was laughing, and like this is the same thing to me. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, like those visual effects were like laughably bad. Like the ones that the one of like the the kid that's being shared over Twitter.
Yeah, I
Yeah, like
saw that. That
the
looks
pic of
so
like the
funny.
of Heimdall's like son's like face. I
Yeah,
was like, Jesus, I didn't even
the
think
live
about
Heimdall
that.
son reaction.
There
Oh
were some things
god.
I did kind of like though, like visually. Like I liked when they went to like where did that place
Black and
was
white
again?
one.
Like yeah, the black and white like
And I
darkness,
think
like
everyone's
dark
favorite thing.
center shadow realm or whatever. Like that was kind of cool. I liked
It
that.
says Shadow Realm in an MCU
He
film.
literally said shadow realm. I was like, are we in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like Jesus, I
You
was
see
so
that? Did you see
excited.
did you see that behind the scenes video of Taika Waititi where they've got his shirt blurred out, but people are like, "That's a One Piece shirt."
Oh, is it? I did not.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to look this up. Yeah. So,
Taika's been a bit
uh,
assholey recently.
he kind of has.
He's just been
Yeah.
giving off that vibe,
I
which
wonder how
sucks.
this. I mean, because he's been on a roll. He's like the new
and
Jon Favreau. He's like Disney's new like golden boy child that they want to put him in everything because he's making a Star Wars movie after this. So,
Oh god.
um,
Please
I'm
just
still
make more
looking
Jojo
forward to
Rabbit.
his like soccer movie.
yeah,
Like
next
his
goal
films like
wins. Yeah.
his films like Jojo Rabbit, like and stuff. I really look forward to those. Um, I think he's better when he's doing like his own like concepts and stuff. Like
Yeah, I think he's like
it's
rarely
fairly
milking
clear
like the
like
one for
this
me,
film is
one
like
for
just
you.
like a phone it in kind of thing.
Sorry, Luca. What did you say? You both of you were talking. I
Uh,
didn't really know what anyone was
yeah.
saying. Yeah.
I th- I was I was saying that I think he's like rarely fucking like milking the one for me, one for you thing to like the last drop that he can. Like
Yeah,
because like when you watch like his like director's commentaries and like behind the scenes stuff for his own movies, like he seems really passionate, like in a genuine way. And then like
Hmm.
when you watch him behind the scenes and shit on like Thor and stuff, he still seems passionate, but like it's in more of like a jokey, like I don't really care about this way, but I'm just having fun. Um,
yeah.
which is
Yeah,
like
and like
still good. It's
conceptually
still
that
a
could
good,
work.
yeah, it's still like a
Yeah.
good. It's just weird, like looking at the Taika Waititi letterbox page and then seeing like all these like movies that are so him and then Thor and Thor 2.
Yeah.
It's like it just feels out of place, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah,
I
I
mean, but
mean,
to be fair, that's not
Thor
just
one,
him. Like
I think
that's
Thor
like the
one he was
Marvel
passionate about.
machine.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's the Marvel machine in general. It's like you take directors like Shane Black or Sam Raimi or
Yeah,
fucking God, what's his face? My mind is blanking. But like like I
but
like Shane Black's movies a
what?
lot. Like I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and like The Nice Guys. But then like when you throw him into this like corporate machine of Marvel, you just like get shit like Iron Man 3 and it's like I don't know what like if you didn't tell me this was Shane Black, there was no way I would have known that. And then the same with like
Yeah,
Sam Raimi with like Doctor Strange 2. Like except like some parts that were just
that still
like
feels like a
clearly
Sam
like
Raimi
Sam
movie
Raimi.
though, to me at
Yeah,
least.
I mean there were still parts that were very Sam Raimi, like the violence and like the zombie Doctor Strange, like that stuff was like clearly Sam Raimi, but like the first
Mm.
third of that movie was so fucking boring. It's like I
Yeah.
like there's no way you could have told me that I would have believed you that like this was Sam Raimi just
I
based on that.
I thought
So
the
Like,
other
girl
than that, like
in
Bruce
gives them
Campbell.
gives them a bit of more creative control. Like you can see like hints of like all their styles in there, but it's like you don't utilize it because like you just have to film it all with like the same camera, the same tone. Like it all has to be kind of funny and light, and like I guess that makes it work for like Taika Waititi more because he's like
Yeah,
he
and the
does
same thing
stuff like
happened to Ryan Coogler, who he directed Black Panther, which I did not like at all. But
yeah.
beforehand that, he made Creed, which I don't give a shit about Rocky. But when I saw that film, there was like a lot of like awesomely like well done technical aspects to that film. Like I don't know if you've guys seen that like first like boxing
I
fight in
haven't
Creed.
seen
Like
it in
that
a
like
while.
the cinematography in that is fucking wild. And then you just go to this shit with Black Panther. It's like I don't give a fuck about any of this. You know, it's like
You
that's
watched
just what happens with the Marvel corporate machine. It's just like you take any charm or like likability of about your
yeah.
directors and they just kind of like crumple it up and just like throw it out there. It's like,
Did you
there
see
are elements of it.
Fruitvale
Yeah.
Station?
That's on my watch list. I've been told it's
Yeah,
really good, but
that
I
one's
didn't
really
mean to
good.
watch it. Yeah, so yeah.
alrighty.
So anyway, Thor 2, I mean there isn't much else for me to say other than Christian Bale was good and it was fun. That's all. That's the only thing I can really say about it, like substantive
I
wise.
love that Christian Bale just like he knows what kind of movie he's in, but he just gives it his all at the same time.
Yeah, he just like really goes for it. It's like how Kate Blanchett was also just like really going for it in terms of like amping
He was
up. Like
hamming it
this is
up.
a stupid, goofy, over the top movie. I think Christian Bale did it better than Kate Blanchett, but I think like they were
Yeah.
both going for the same thing. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, speaking
I
of
think
which,
his
that
accent,
who Christian
Christian
Bale?
Bale, yeah,
Yeah, I mean I liked him. I
no,
liked his
this is
character in
going to
general.
hurt.
Like I liked in the first 10 minutes. Like I actually really liked the first 10 minutes where he's like
Yeah,
oh
the
gods
opening.
must die or whatever, and then he chops off like the dude's head or whatever. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he's
this
like,
is
my
kind of
daughter
cool."
died.
Yeah. And he's like, "What? I thought you kids liked like heads without their bodies." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like Jesus. So
He's just terrorizing a bunch of kids. Like,
And that and that scene, you know how like in Thor Ragnarok they had like the fucking actor people with like Matt Damon and that shit like going on.
yeah, they brought
They
that back.
probably did that again, but they were like, and this is Hela, and then like Melissa McCarthy shows up. I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I was not expecting that.
I was like, I rolling my eyes. I was like, are you serious right now? Like, come on.
Theater director was her real life husband, I think.
Really? I did not know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Do you like Russell
Shit.
Crowe?
Uh, no. I, I,
His accent.
he and Tom Hanks must have went to like the same acting coach in terms of like their goofy, weird European accents for their movies. Because like I don't know what the fuck Russell Crowe was going for in this movie. Like
No,
I
he got
get
like
I
a
guess
great
kind
Australian accent that would have been really funny.
yeah, like and like isn't the whole point of all these like Thor movies that they're like loaded with like Australian and like Kiwi actors? Like why are you like
Exactly.
making him do this like weird
Not
like
filmed
Greek
in
accent?
Australia. Like, why the fuck? Maybe it's
Yeah,
accurate to some like real life. Like, maybe Zeus sounded like that. I
yeah,
don't
no, if
know.
Zeus sounded like Russell Crowe, I would be scared. But no, he sounds like fucking like Greek Elmer Fudd. Like, how am I supposed to be scared by this? You know? So
Yeah, it sounds like some stupid like like French accent that someone would put on for like a bit. Like,
yeah,
"Oi, I take
it's
off
like
your
if
disguise.
Dick Van Dyke like decided to like do another accent because his English accent was just so fucking great in Mary Poppins. So
And honestly, I gotta say, I was not expecting, and it's actually not, it's in the trailer. I was not expecting to see Thor's ass in the film. I didn't think a Marvel film would ever go that far.
I was mad because they didn't go further with that. It's like, oh, like, is there more to this? Nope, just like 1 to 2 seconds of Thor's ass, and that's it.
Yeah.
Come on, like, really? Like,
My
whatever.
my my friend DM'd me yesterday or the day before, and he just said, like in all caps, "Jules, I need to know. Can you see Chris Hemsworth's cock in Thor: Love and Thunder?"
Wow.
Unfortunately,
Just so
we've
that
all
in
been
no context.
bamboozled. Yeah. Well, I'm done talking about this unless you like are dying to say more about this. So,
Yeah, I don't think there's much more I can say. I
yeah.
think it's. I think. Do you think it's Taika Waititi's worst film?
I
Yes.
can't say that for sure because I still haven't seen some of his films. I still haven't seen
Yeah.
Boy and Jojo Rabbit. I've seen everything else from him, but just based on what I've seen, yeah, I think this is his worst film easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Give
5 out of
him. Give
10.
him.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Give him the budget to do like a story he actually like wants to tell, like Jojo Rabbit, or just
Yeah,
like Hunt for the
$200
Wilder
million
People.
budget for Jojo Rabbit. Throw 4 in that one. Just see what happens. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's see him like bring Hitler back from the dead for real.
Yeah, it could be like what was that like J.J. Abrams like zombie World War II movie Overlord or whatever the fuck that's called? Yeah, just do that. But with Jojo Rabbit.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, oh JJ. Anyway, yeah, 5 out of 10,
Dark
closer to a
stories,
4 than a
mystery
6, but
boxes.
5. Yeah, so yeah, fuck you, JJ. So
Yeah, opening this mystery box, I'm gonna give it a
mystery
5 out of
box.
10.
Uh so that was Thor, I guess. So speaking of buff guys, do you want to get into the recommendation now?
Yes, I'm itching to talk
Yeah.
about
For
this
the
one.
most epic dank movie ever to ever dank or epic.
Okay, wait, we need some context first. So,
Yeah.
we started this kind of like stealing the format from Sardanacast, so uh, each one of us is going to do a recommendation. But we didn't want. We're going in alphabetical order, by the way. So the order is going to be Jules, me, then Timmy.
Hmm.
But we didn't want to just start with Jules's recommendation, like, and not give him the chance to say it in the episode and like have all the hype around it and shit. So we
You need
collectively
to build
No, I know
anticipation.
you're all
Yeah.
dreading. I know you're all dreading what
I'm
I've
kind
got
of
in
dreading
mind.
it,
I
yeah.
have no idea what you're gonna recommend. I'm just so I don't know what to
I'm just
expect.
gonna
Yeah.
say none of you are gonna. Both of you have never heard of this movie before.
Oh God, I
As
already
long
don't
as
like the
there's a
sound of
okay,
this.
okay, as long as there's a place to watch it, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as I
but
don't have to like go on Pornhub or something to find this movie,
no,
like
no,
I'm
no.
I'm fine with that.
Anyways, we're
Yeah.
going off track. So we watched
Basically, yeah,
RRR.
we all agreed. Yeah, we all agreed to like agreed on a movie, and we decided on RRR because I don't know why did we agree on this again? I
Because
forgot.
me and Jules
I'm
wanted
glad
to
Don't
we
matter.
watch
did, but
it,
like why? Yeah,
and
yeah.
and we were just like, fuck
Probably
it.
should have done something like shorter, like Spiderhead.
Nah,
Oh,
this
that
is
Oh,
would've been
that would
totally
have been
better.
worth it.
awful. I
This
wouldn't
is
want to do
worth it.
that. Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I saw this.
yeah, I'm also really glad. I'm very glad that
Same.
you wanted us to watch this, Luca. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. But
So, do
you
you want
should
to give like a
introduce
quick
it.
rundown on what it's about? Oh, do you want me to introduce
Oh
it? Yeah,
yes.
okay. So, okay.
Give everyone a
So
chance.
yeah, okay, yeah. So, basically the premise of the movie, so there are two guys, in India. The film takes place in 1920s India, the height of the British Empire. And basically there are these two Indian guys who have their own thing going on. One is like from like the jungle and he's trying to rescue his sister who got sold for like 2 coins, which if you ask me is basically like the equivalent of stealing food from your mouth. Like if you're gonna sell a child, I would want a little more payment than that, but that's just me.
Who knows the
Anyway, the
value of this child?
anyway, so his goal is that he wants to rescue his sister, and then you have this other dude. He's like a member of like the British like police like
He's the
battalion troops or
Terminator.
whatever. Yeah, but he's like an undercover like cop or whatever, because he's trying to arm the nation because he promised his dad like
Give
some time
every
ago to
person a
like
weapon.
give every person their Second Amendment gun rights.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then they meet each other, and then they have this anime style, not gay bromance, where they learn to love each other, but they're also betray each other, but then they learn to love each other again. This movie is just basically Naruto, but if you cut out all the bullshit and just have the main story of two guys who are brothers but not gay who love each other and fight evil, it's basically Naruto. It's Naruto but in like an Indian film version. And it's directed by a boat, SS Rajamouli. And yeah,
Probably
I
the biggest
don't.
director in India.
Yeah, literally, because it's directed by a boat. Yeah, so
No, did you guys see Bahubali?
no, because everyone told me it was bad.
I
So
watched 30
It's
minutes
really
and I
funny.
couldn't
Like
fucking
honestly, watch
deal
it,
with
Timmy.
it.
You'll laugh your ass off.
yeah, I mean, I saw clips of Bahubali and I was like, I can't believe the guy who made this
This is so
movie
much better.
made that as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the general premise. It has this gargantuan Lord of the Rings length 3 hour runtime.
Long.
But unlike most movies that I've seen recently that came out this year, where I'm just like so fucking bored, like this movie like kept me entertained. Like I was really like entertained from like beginning to end. Like were there dull moments? Yeah, yeah, like for sure. But like the movie never like dwells on these dull moments because like immediately we just like went to the next thing. So it's like at one moment there's like this like crazy like tiger chase or whatever, and then another moment like these guys are like breakdancing in front of like a 1920s like posh English crowd or whatever, and then next minute like some dude is like beating the shit out of someone with like a motorcycle. It's like the movie was like it just doesn't stop. It just constantly
Just
go. It
straight up
kind of reminded
whips
me of
someone
like
half to death for 5 minutes straight.
yeah, it's like it was kind of like Crank in the sense that like the movie just doesn't give a shit. It just like keeps going and going and like just has fun and like and that's what I really appreciated about the movie. So, what did you guys think?
I I mean, obviously it's something. Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what I witnessed that came out of that screen that is my TV. I think I like it, but obviously it's kind of not very good.
What
But
do you mean?
yeah,
It's fantastic.
What do you mean? It's some
yeah,
Kino shit. This is true
yeah,
Kino.
exactly. It's Kino. It's really Kino. Yeah, I was laughing my ass off. Like, I think my favorite scene was like I like, laughed out loud at this scene was when he storms into like the party and he's just like I was like, what the fuck is he gonna do? And then he pulls the thing off his wagon and it's just like
He
a
fucking
tiger.
falls.
He gets loose. I was like,
No, that
I
was
did not
like-
see that coming.
I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck?
No, that was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, Luca, what did you think?
I love this movie so much.
But no,
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, like, I like when I saw all like everyone giving this like 5-star reviews, I thought it was like possibly like the most so bad it's good movie ever. But when I watched it, it was actually good. Like, and I understand like there's bad elements, but like in ways it kind of knows
as
that it's a campy.
Bollywoodisms.
Yeah, it's like it has a lot of
Yeah.
Bollywoodisms, yes, but it knows what
Mhm.
it is, and it just fucking sends it. It just does it everything. It's
Yeah,
like
it doesn't give a shit. It
Yeah.
just does fucking whatever it wants. Like if it
Far
wants to
better in
like
like terms of like actual quality than like
Yeah.
those Bahubali movies.
like
yeah.
there's a lot of dumb
It, like-
shit, but
Mhm.
like I don't care. Like like there's so much satisfying moments for
Just had
the dumb
fun.
shit. Like for every dumb thing, like stupid edit, stupid slow-mo sequence, unnecessary flashback, there's such a satisfying action scene or callback or fucking
Funny
moment
moment.
or dance
Yeah.
or break out into song. It's so great, honestly, and I had such a joyous
this is the
experience.
This is the movie Zack Snyder wishes he could make.
That reminds me.
Yeah, it really is. It's because like there were a lot of like slow-mo shots and
Yeah.
like fucking like jacked guys like beating the shit out of these like British soldiers. I was like, this is like a Zack Snyder movie, but if it was like good, like if it wasn't like a
Yeah.
piece of shit, like it was so
It was, like,
entertaining. It like
Army of the
didn't give a
Dead, but
fuck
better.
about anything. Like rules, what's that? Logic, fuck that. Like here's like. Here's a scene where this guy steals bows and arrows from like a statue and then like shoots the shit out of like
Yeah.
all of these like British
Out of the
soldiers in
special
cameo
forces.
and like one guy represents like fire and the other one's like water or some
Yeah.
shit. Like the movie doesn't give a fuck and it's so fun because of how much it doesn't give a shit. Like I've seen a couple of like Bollywood films. Like I'm not too familiar with the genre, but I'm very well aware of like their tendency to just break out into like song and dance musical numbers and most other Bollywood films I've seen, like I get really fucking annoyed by shit like that. It's like I get that like this is what the people in India like, but I don't give a fuck about any of this. Here, like whenever they like break
That's
into
part of the story.
like that breakout like dance scene where like they're doing a dance off against like the posh like British guys, like this is stupid as fuck, but it's so entertaining. It's like it's so goofy. It just doesn't care. It just
Yeah.
goes for it. It does whatever it wants, and like that's what's great about it. It knows to have a fun time. And for like a movie that's 3 hours, like the film isn't slow. Like it's so fast paced. Like I was so entertained, you know. So yeah.
We gotta talk about the the villains of the film, how just like
Oh my
cartoonishly
God.
evil they are.
It's funny we mentioned Thor because the guy
Yeah,
who plays
I
the
was about to
main like
mention that.
British bad guy, he played like one of Thor's friends who died in like the first 5 to 10 minutes of Thor Ragnarok. That was
Oh.
funny as fuck. That was hilarious. And then his wife was played by Elsa Schneider, who was like the blonde girl from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I was like, holy fuck! Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like they're so like over the top. Like, does this man think he can bring down the might of the British Empire with his bow and arrows?
He gives that same speech about how like this British bullet came
Yeah, I
here
love that.
over this boat and it cost 1 British pound, and if you waste 1 British pound of this Indian life, you are wasting the numerical value of the British. It's just like, what the fuck is going on?
I actually like how
And
that comes
he
back
says
at
it
the end.
3 times. It was so funny.
I liked how it came back at the end too.
Hmm.
That was
mean,
actually quite a good
if
payoff.
they really wanted to do a full like comeback to it, like technically they wouldn't have like shot the gun. They would have just like, I don't know, like got a hammer and then like beat the fuck out of him, because like,
Yeah.
British
No,
life is
no,
also
but
not worth like the life of a bullet,
no, no, no.
So
But it makes sense because like the general dude who like trained all the people and trained like the guy that started the revolution, he was saying like how like killing like how if an Indian's life is worth it, then surely a British
life
person's
is
life is
worth
worth it
much
because
more.
like we're better than them and shit like that, and not in like a bad way, because obviously like the British people just completely fucked over the whole country and treated them like slaves and like
Shit.
shit.
yeah,
Like, so I, you know,
it wasn't fun. Yeah.
it was purposeful. It did make sense.
Hmm.
This movie
Yeah,
felt
it was
like
kind of like Avatar in the sense that like they made the villain so cartoonishly evil that there was no way I could
Oh,
sympathize with them. It's like, you know how the bad guys, like the military bad guys in like Avatar, are like so like over the top evil. It's like, well, yeah, obviously I'm gonna side with like the fucking blue Native Americans. Like, why the fuck would I give a shit about you guys? Like, there was that like it was also like
no
Avatar in the
blood.
sense that it
Kill
was like
harder.
there was also like one like nice British lady who was also like one of the main
yeah,
characters' girlfriends.
Yeah, she just
For
did
some
nothing.
reason, by the way, like this is
she
what I
was
was really
sweet.
confused. It's like you seem really cool with the fact that not only has your like empire crumbled, but like your parents were like brutally murdered. You seem really cool with all of this. Like, I'm just saying, like if my parents were like cartoonishly like racist villains, like even if that was the case, I would still like feel something if they died. But like she was like, oh, whatever, I'm with
Were
you
they her
now. It's
parents
like
though? Like, I don't
I
even know.
thought they were.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah.
I found it so troublesome to like distinguish the characters, like the difference of the characters in the beginning of the film. I was so confused. I thought the movie was about three separate dudes, and then after like 10 minutes, it like clicked, and I was like, oh wait, these are two
No,
people.
I thought so too, because
Yeah,
like when
Yeah.
we're first introduced like to the other guy
it's
with
a
like the
bit
mustache.
muddly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like he just like he grows a beard like in the literally
yeah,
the next scene. I was like,
exactly.
wait, didn't you have like just a how
Yeah,
did you
that's
grow
why
so
I was
much
so
facial hair?
confused.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like the villain. He's going to be like the Terminator equivalent because there is that like I really like that scene where he just like beats the shit out of an entire crowd of
Yeah,
people.
that was
Hilarious.
Just that
great.
one
That
guy.
was, that was truly some like Dragon Ball Z Naruto shit, and like
It was
that's
like
what I like. That's what I talked about in my review on Letterboxd. It's like this movie is just anime. It's a dumb, stupid anime that's so much fun. Doesn't give a shit about logic. Just like goes for it, and then like that's what's so entertaining about it. Like this movie, like unironically, is the best live action anime and like anime adaptation.
Yeah,
It's better than literally every other
literally.
live action anime adaptation. Yeah. So.
This
Mhm.
movie felt like if Nabwana Isaac Jeffrey Godfrey, which is the director of Who Killed Captain Alex, just had an
And Back in
infinite
Black and
budget.
yeah,
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 yeah.
it felt like if that guy had an infinite budget and just got to make something super insane. Like this, I loved it. I loved every second of it. Well, maybe not
I
every
reckon this
second.
director should
If there's any,
unironically like direct like a Marvel film. Like I would
that's
love
what I
to
was
see that.
thinking. Like,
Yeah.
if this guy directed a Marvel movie, like I would be so
Because
excited. I was
the
like, I'll
choreography
pay
and
for
shit
all
is
the
actually
tickets.
good. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Mhm.
He seems perfect
Yeah.
for like the type of thing that like
Yeah.
get some guy to write a script. He'll do it, but he'll put it in like his own thing. He'll make like Chris Hemsworth do like a Bollywood number.
Yeah, he should have been the one to direct the Eternals. and have it star Kumail Nanjiani. That's what should have happened.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a
Mhm.
Bollywood number in that film, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it was really stupid. Yeah, so
Made no sense.
yeah, I looked up the budget to see just how expensive the film was. Apparently, it's the most expensive
Okay,
film
let's guess. We can play a
made in
guessing
India.
game.
And I
It's
already know what it
oh
is.
yeah, I guess
Oh,
yeah. I'll let you guys. I have the
okay.
number, so I'll let you guys like
Well,
yeah.
Jules knows.
You guess it, Luca, because I already know.
Okay.
Okay,
The
I
most
also know
expensive
too.
film from India. Fuck. Like 97 million?
A little over.
102 million.
I said a little over. That means you were over what the
Oh,
budget
a
is.
little over. Oh shit, sorry. Okay, just tell me, just whatever.
72 million.
What? That's insane!
Yeah, I know that's crazy, right? Like 72 million. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but like for some of the things that they did in this
Yeah.
film, like I still I swear to God, I nutted during that scene where like
What?
the guy like drove his motorcycle in like one direction, and the other guy like rode his horse in the other direction, and then just both jump off their vehicles, and then
Set the
like tie each
motorcycle
other
on
with the
fire and it
ropes or
blows up the
whatever.
whole building. It's just a bunch of
Yeah.
TNT. Like fucking
I,
Minecraft.
Yeah, I just have to imagine like they spent this budget very, very well because
Yeah.
I mean I'm gonna be honest, the special effects like especially like the VFX the CG
Tiger.
looked like shit. Like they look like absolute
Not
shit.
all of it.
It's
I'm not
72
gonna lie,
million
not
though.
all
Like,
of it looked that bad. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I
that
thought the
snake
tiger
looked pretty
from the
good.
beginning was like kind of like cool, but like it was just like during that scene
Snake
where
looked
like
pretty good.
yeah, the snake looked kind of cool too, but like that scene where like when he like invaded like the party, and then he unleashed all the animals. Like some of them there were like some like Matrix Reloaded shit or whatever. I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't like any of this. So
honestly,
I mean, but it still works. It's still goofy, but it's like I was more forgiving, but still, yeah.
I
Mhm.
think it had better effects than like most Marvel movies, so yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Even
It's
if they
about on
didn't
par
feel
with
as
Thor: Love and Thunder.
realistic, they still fit the tone and added to the film way more. So yeah.
hmm I really hope they don't make like an American remake of this film. That would fucking suck. I'd hate that. But they're probably gonna
Oh, they're
do it
gonna
because
like
it's so
train to
popular. Yeah.
Busan it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're making like an HBO miniseries of like Parasite. They're probably gonna do some shit like that with this movie, and it's gonna fucking suck.
There's
So
an American remake of Train to Busan coming out next year.
I'm well aware of that, and that sounds
Oh
awful. I
no.
hate that they're doing that. Yeah. So
Well,
yeah.
the director said, apparently the studio that made it, they want to make this like into a franchise, but the director in like this super like based move just said, it will be one film, there will be no sequels. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
God, I'm fucking sad.
Yeah, what a dude. It's like that's just what happens. It's like every time something popular that isn't American like comes out, just America just can't fucking help themselves and make an American adaptation of it. Like apparently a live action Your Name is still happening. I don't know how the fuck you would even do that, but I guess that's still happening.
Live action Avatar: The Last Airbender for Netflix. That's happening.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
I didn't mean that as a question. I was just mad. Like again, like yeah, because that worked so well the first time around. Is M Night gonna direct that one too? You know what would be awful if like M Night Shyamalan directed like an American adaptation of RRR? That would be awful.
Oh my god.
Or hilarious.
I wonder
You
what
know,
the twist would be.
when it goes. I'm down with
What
either.
would the twist be?
The twist is the twist it was all in their head or something, or they got or no, they're all like getting older. Like the buffer they get, the older they get, it'll be like a sequel to Old or some shit.
Oh, that's the old sequel that he's writing. Yeah.
Anyways.
But let's stop talking about M Night. There was
Yeah,
I
enough
also
about
really
that guy.
surprisingly loved the music. Like
Same.
whenever
Same.
like I really loved like the when we first introduced the guy with the mustache. And the like the British actor who's really bad at acting, by the way, he's like, who did that? Like, arrest this man. Like, he bring him to me. And then the fucking like drums like play at like maximum volume as he like
Yeah.
jumps over the fence and like beats the shit out of all these guys. It was like, holy
There's
fuck,
no
this
way
is
that happened. You
truly
would get
epic. Like,
fucking ripped
Zack
apart.
Snyder, like, fuck you with this like Justice League shit. Like, this is truly like some epic Kino shit right here. It's awesome. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna edit that later. That scene with like the Wonder Woman theme.
Oh, that would I if something like that was in this movie, I would cringe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the it made me laugh out loud when they start fighting each other at like the palace, and he like goes to the rooftop, and he tries to jump off, but then the guy uses like the little necklace thing that
Oh,
he gave to him,
Yeah.
and it started singing, and it just said, "This is an unforeseen twist of fate."
Oh yes,
And that made
that
me-
Music
reminds
was-
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the music, like a lot of the lyrics in the songs, were literally just saying what the characters were doing. Like,
Yeah, I saw
like-
that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was like, but I'll give it this. That's a creative way to like do narration. It's like if you're gonna have to like dump a bunch of exposition, that's a creative way to dump exposition. Yeah, just sing it.
No, but like,
that's
the
creative.
thing
Yeah.
is, they were singing it as they were doing it, but like you could see that
I
they're
know.
obviously doing that thing. Like, there's one with the one lyric that I remember. It's like, what was the dude's name? Oh shit.
theme.
Beam, yes. It's like, Beam
Beam, yeah.
grabs his weapon and leaps from the water. Like, literally as he was doing it. I was like, okay, guys, I can see that he's fucking doing this. Like, you
Guys,
don't
I can see. You don't have to tell me.
You guys notice in the music video at the end, the director put himself in there for like the last
No,
like,
I
10
saw
seconds.
that. I saw like at the music and dance montage, like at
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
end of the fight, he just inserted himself. I was like, dude, he's not even like hiding it. He's just like, yeah, I made this movie. Fuck you. What a Chad.
Did you guys say yes to being in one of these movies?
Of course. Any day of the week.
I mean, yeah, obviously he has to. Yeah. Were you guys ever annoyed by like, I don't know, this was like a little nitpick for me that like just really frustrated me, but it's like the movie just kind of like picks and choose like whether or not like the cartoon British villains could like understand like what like the Indian people are saying, because in some scenes
yeah.
like they like need a translator to like, you know, translate what they're saying, but then in other scenes they just say the thing and then they're like, yeah, totally, I understand what you're saying, like, and I agree. Like, what? Like, come on.
I think the
I
main the main like general or like king or whatever it fucking was, I think he could
God.
understand.
Stupid name.
I think he could. I think it was different dependent on certain characters, but they definitely were quite inconsistent with it. Like, I do agree. Like,
Yeah.
it was like,
Mhm.
I think that one scene where he gets like put into like this rank of special officer, and he goes into like the shed with like the rifles and shit, and then like it transitions into like a flashback. But I was so confused because like I was like, what the fuck's going on? Is this like a flash forward or something? Because his dad has the same name as him. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
one of my favorite bits,
Yeah,
like, that made me laugh, that just, I don't know why it made me laugh so hard, but like, like, the cop, or like the soldier dude, oh fuck, what was his name again? Raju, I think.
What?
Yeah, Raju.
Yeah, Raju, yeah.
Yeah, like he gets arrested because he helps Beam escape, and then he gets put in prison, and then like he's in prison for like a day, and he grows like a full set of hair, like long growing locks. Like as soon as I saw that, I started laughing so hard. I was like, what? How?
Like, to
It's
be
so
fair,
funny.
is that's consistent with this like movie's universe, because like people can just grow fucking facial hair at like breakneck speed. It's like, you know, not even like 20 minutes have passed and this guy already has like a
Edited
like
his character
beard.
build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Jesus. And then like but like it's actually great that you mentioned that because like when Beam like breaks him out and then he like puts him on his shoulders and the guy's like double wielding like two rifles and then like
I
shooting
know.
at each other. I was like, this
And then
if
he
this
gets
isn't
better like
cinema,
5 seconds
then I
later, and
don't
he's just
know what
wielding a
is
bow and
it.
shit.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. This movie was a ton of fun.
This
Yeah.
was truly epic. This was more fun than Top Gun Maverick. And like Top Gun Maverick was also really fun, but like holy shit, I had so much fun watching this movie. It's
Dude, this is
great.
unironically like one of my favorite films of the year.
Yeah,
Honestly,
same, literally same.
It's like on my list, it's like number 4 of like what, like 25 movies I've seen. It's like it's
This is like,
unironically in my top 5
Yeah,
favorite
I think
films.
it's I'll look where it's I think it's like above like like
I put this above
Turning
The
Rings.
Northman on my list. Fuck it.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah, I gave this a. I mean, we're gonna. When
Should we
give
just go
ratings
into
about,
ratings?
like, I'll,
Yeah, I didn't really have
well,
much to say.
I did have one like major issue with the
Okay,
film.
do that quick. Say that quick.
Yeah, I just thought that like all the female characters were like just complete wieners, and that they literally had nothing to do. Like, you had like sorry, what was the second guy's, the mustache guy's name? Raja, I think that was
Raju.
his name is. Raju, yeah, he his fiance was just like a complete wiener. She like just didn't do anything except like tell his backstory and then like have a
Yeah.
necklace and like that's about it.
It
And
was
then you
about the
have like
bromance, though.
yeah, and then you have like Beam's like white girlfriend. What was her name again? Jenny or something. She was also a complete wiener. She cheers for him during the dance competition and then it gives him
Nothing.
coffee. Like that's it. Like that's all she does in this movie. It's like
She
you
gives
know,
him she gives him the plans to the building at the end.
yeah, I guess so. It's
Yeah.
like Avatar. It's just like Avatar. It's like it's like I mean, like she's important in the story in the sense that like the main guy needed a love interest,
One
and
thing.
yeah, she's like, oh, she's British, but she's not like racist. She's like actually a decent human being, which I guess is like a milestone. I guess that's like not the standard, I guess. Whatever. But that was like my only real complaint. It's like I wish the female characters weren't such complete wieners in this movie. So,
I gotta talk about one thing.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
the fuck was that scene
Lost
where
thing.
Raju like whips Beam? I was like,
Oh,
you're really going far for
That
like
was
the
really
upper
weird.
identities.
No, dude, that affected me
The
so
song and
hard.
dance,
I
like
was
he
like,
starts singing like after like, he's getting whipped. I was like, what the fuck?
That
I didn't
was
expect
great.
that they would actually like use the spiky whip on him with like the nails and shit, and I was like, oh shit, they're not gonna use it once. They're gonna use it again and again and again.
Yeah. Did you guys find it
That was so
hilarious
funny.
when? Do you guys find it hilarious when like the governor's wife is like, "Aw, there's no blood. He didn't like kneel
I
down
wanted
here.
to
He,
feel
like,
blood. Hit him
I wanted to,
harder.
yeah, hit him harder. I give him the spiky whip." I was like, "What the fuck?" It
Yeah.
was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. This movie truly is cinema, and I don't give a
When she
fuck.
realizes he's not actually kneeling, she's like, he didn't kneel.
And the accents were so like over the top, like posh British accent, which I don't know if that's what they actually are.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
that
thought,
was like error accurate, but it was so funny.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah, no, it definitely helped.
it's just good man. You truly have learned well from the British Empire and its ways. I was like, it's like their accents are so funny. Oh man, this was like Aquaman level funny. It was like Aquaman level hilarious. It was so
It was
great.
like better than Aquaman.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
no, obviously
easily.
it's better than Aquaman, but like tone-wise, it was like very similar. It's like this is stupid, but I'm having
This
so
like
much fun
beats
right
out
now.
like it's like beats out both Men and Thor: Love and Thunder by like a long way.
Yeah, me too. And like honestly, the fucking it felt very James Wan-y too. Like cuz like the violence in the film like felt similar to something like Malignant. You know how in Malignant the last third it just becomes this like fucking gore fest where like people are just
Yeah.
fucking stabbing each other and like arms are getting like cut off and like blood is being sweat. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same level of like violence in terms of like gore and like tone and comedy. It was the same thing. I was having so much fun. It was awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can get into ratings now. That's all I have to say, unless like any of you guys have anything else to say. So
Yeah, no, I think we covered all the bases.
Yeah.
But like,
this was
oh, actually, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about.
okay.
Quick.
I respect the balls on this movie so much for actually showing a child getting shot and dying.
That was you have to give it credit. Most movies don't do that. Like, which
Yeah,
movies
true.
kill children? Face Off in this film. Like, that's about
Quiet
it. So,
Place.
yeah,
Quiet
which this movie also reminded me of. Like, this movie reminded me a lot of like Face Off. It was like Face Off level funny.
I was laughing my ass off when like the mum got shot as well, and the kid's going like no, and the dad just keeps doing like load, shoot, aim.
That's hilarious. Oh man, this was so much fun.
All right.
If this movie comes out on like, I hope I get like a Criterion version of this movie. I want like a Criterion Blu-ray of this movie. There better be, yeah.
I'm getting a 4K Blu-ray, a normal Blu-ray, a DVD. I'll get it on digital. Every single copy, I'll get a Criterion.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, let's get into ratings.
Yeah.
I gave this a 6 on Letterboxd, but honestly, like,
I'm giving it an 8.
fuck it, it's a 7. This is a 7 out of 10 for me, and maybe an 8 if like in a future we watch. Yeah, so 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 8. This is fantastic.
Like, in terms of a movie, like, it's a 6 out of 10, and that's what I originally gave it. Like in terms of like a movie, like it's on par, but this number one, this discussion alone, like just makes me want to bump it up to a 7. Like just
that's what happened
remembering
for me too.
like all the great parts about it, like just make me feel so much better about it. So I think I'll give it a 7.
Name me another.
But in my heart, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
In my heart, it's a 10
It's
out of
also
10.
a 10 out of 10. This is like Face Off, where it's like I want to give this a 10 out of 10, but it's like I have to be fair. But like in my heart, it's like a 10 out of 10. So, because what other movie like has a guy like take a motorcycle, grab it, and then like fucking bludgeon people with a motorcycle? Like, what other movie does that?
Yeah. So that was that.
You're wrong. Gemini Man did that.
So. Yeah, that was. I don't know. That's RRR, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Everything, everywhere, all at once could never.
You know what? I also got Everything Everywhere All at Once vibes from this movie. It's like if this movie also had like those existential nihilistic themes and Everything Everywhere All at Once, this truly would be my favorite film of the year.
Do you know what the director said this film was about?
What?
This is a quote from him. RRR, this is from the director, is about an imaginary friendship between two superheroes.
Oh my god.
I mean,
it's a superhero movie.
It's like Batman v Superman. It's Batman v Superman, but good. It truly is a good version of the Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
Alright.
Eat your heart out, Zach. You can't make shit like this. Anyway, we can get into question times now if you guys want to do questions. So yeah, another thing that we're stealing from Sardonicast is that at the end of each discussion, before one of us recommends, we ask each other questions. But we're changing it up a little, wherein that whoever recommends should also be responsible for getting questions. But because this was like a group recommendation, I was happy to get the questions. So I have a list of questions right here if you guys want to get into it. But yeah.
But yeah, we want to answer your questions. So we just got these questions because of like the Discord server. Yeah.
But, so if you guys have any questions, just like
leave your own questions.
Even in the YouTube comment, or like follow us on social media.
If you have my Discord, because I will be responsible for collecting them next week.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to look at the comments as well.
So if anyone is listening to this on YouTube, if you guys have any questions you guys like for us to answer, just like comment on this video, and we can answer it next episode. And if you guys follow us on social media, you can always DM us these questions as
Twitter.
well.
I don't think
Twitter, Instagram,
anyone
fucking
follows us on
whatever.
social media, but sure.
Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, just as an option, I'm
I don't
just
know
saying.
even
So,
know how you found my Twitter, Jules. Like, I don't even know how you
It's linked
found
on your
it.
letterboxd.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you
oh
go.
like,
shit,
oh,
really?
Luca,
Yeah,
Luca
there
has
you
a
go. Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, Luca has a Twitter. Oh, I'll follow
I
him.
barely
yeah.
use it, but
So,
whatever.
yeah.
You get that
So,
notification being like, "Fuck, how did he find me?"
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, just please send us questions. We want to answer your questions, no matter how vanilla or, I guess weird you
Normal.
want to ask. Yeah, so, but
Yeah.
anyway, I've got some vanilla questions here
Okay.
mostly. So do better next time, people. So this question, so we asked our Discord, film, channel for questions. So this first question comes from JJ, not Abrams. JJ, our friend.
Nice.
Yeah. So the first question is pretty simple. What's your favorite movie and why?
Okay, I'll go first on this one because I
Yeah,
already
you
said
teased
it.
it
Lord of the
earlier.
Rings: Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah. Nice.
It's an achievement in both like filmmaking and like storytelling. Like the way the film. I've got a book right here actually that was just on. It's just like all on like how the films were made. It's like my Bible. It's like I go back to that so often and be like, how is this sequence made again? Let me just look.
Yeah,
Um,
have you truly watched Lord of the Rings if you don't also watch like the special features and like the behind the scenes footage and stuff
I've
like
seen
that?
everything.
Yeah.
I've seen like footage of what would have been like deleted scenes
Hmm.
like,
Mhm.
that are like really hard to find on the internet.
Mm. I guess like because Fellowship is your favorite, how would you like rank like the trilogy for you in general? Like if Fellowship is like number
Ooh.
one, then like what's two and three? Um, yeah.
I think Fellowship it's kind of just like um, Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. So it's just like
Really? Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
No
I
people
like
say
Return
Return
of
of
the
the
King
King's
more
the
than
best,
Two
but
Towers. Yeah.
yeah.
So, hmm what about you, Luca? What's your favorite film and why?
Um, I have like a few that are like top. I think I have a pretty solidified top three, but at the moment, I mean, maybe it's kind of like a generic like film person kind of film to say for your favorite, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is my favorite movie
Yeah.
ever
Oh,
made.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed about. It's like
Yeah.
genuinely
Yeah, no, like
fantastic. It's like
yeah.
nothing to be ashamed about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, either that or Fantastic Mr. Fox. I like kind of cycle between. It's
Yeah.
like, am I
Nice.
feeling
Yeah.
goofy and fun, or am I feeling like despondent and and existential? But both of them have elements of both in weird ways. But yeah, Eternal Sunshine, it just speaks to me on a like a personal level. I love everything about the film. Great screenplay and camera tricks and visual effects and performances and especially themes and metaphors and everything, and it tells a really profound story about the importance of your memories and how you should cherish them. And yeah, really resonates with me, and I like it a lot, and it's my favorite movie. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's also a fair answer. Yeah. My favorite film. I also have a top three, but I can just focus on my first. My favorite is A Clockwork Orange, directed by
Ooh,
Oh.
Stanley
good choice.
Kubrick. Yeah.
Got a
Kubrick
poster of
is.
that above me
Yeah,
right now.
I Kubrick is my favorite director of all time, so I'll literally just watch whatever
Turn
from him.
Desire.
Well, I guess maybe not everything, because I watched Turn Desire for the first time and I was like, wow, this is bad. I can't
Sucks.
no. So I guess not everything, but like I guess like everything post Lolita. Wait, no, post Paths of Glory. Yeah, that was it. Post Paths of Glory, fucking perfect. I'll watch that shit. And it's weird because like I think unbiased like objectively, I think 2001 is his best film. Like I could watch 2001 like a dozen times and I'll get something new each time. But yeah, but Clockwork Orange is my personal favorite. There's like so much I love about the film. I love Malcolm McDowell's performance as like Alex is probably my favorite performance in general. I like he just pulls that character off so well. Like the use of music is fucking awesome. It's like and the way it's like incorporated into these scenes of violence and like the tone and like the set design, like how it kind of like attributes this like this dystopian like totalitarian British society. It's like it's so awesome. Like I love it. There's so much I like really like appreciate about the film. And yeah, that's what I would say was my first one. And then in terms of like runner-ups, I always jump back and forth between like adaptation and Spirited Away.
Hmm.
So like my favorite Charlie Kaufman and my favorite animated film of all time. So like adaptation and Spirited Away are like very, very special movies for me. Those are movies I can also see like a dozen times and like get something new out of it. So yeah, so
All right.
mhm. Cool. Yeah. Next question. So this is kind of a fun one. The first question actually inspired me to come up with this question. So this is actually for me. So what's your
Okay.
least favorite movie and why?
Least favorite movie. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I know that answer.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me
Yeah,
just
go
go
ahead.
check. Let me just go check. Let me just go
Well, I
look.
can guess I can give my
Yeah,
least favorite
you
answer
give
first, then
yours.
while you look.
Yeah.
So my least favorite movie of all time is Dragon Ball Evolution. I fucking hate that piece of shit. That movie. Okay. So if we're going to take out my love for Dragon Ball Z, which is impossible, but let's just say for the sake of this argument we do, the movie is still one of the most incompetently made fucking things ever. Like the movie barely counts as a film. The only reason the movie is classified as a film is because a camera was like turned on and then things happened while the camera was recording. That's the only reason why it's considered a movie, because everything else is just absolute dog shit. Like it has some of the worst acting I've ever seen. The special effects suck massive dick. Like the fucking story is the most bullshit thing ever. Like rather than have this awesome source material as your backdrop for your story, you do this fucking like video game high school nonsense where Goku is like an angsty teen who like can't get laid or some shit, and like everyone is just such a fucking idiot in that film, and the CG is so fucking awful. Like, geez, I part of me wants to recommend Dragon Ball Evolution one day just so I can get you guys to understand how I feel about this movie, but then I
I
would
think
have
I
to
could do
torture
it just
myself
because of
to
this.
watch Dragon Ball Evolution. I fucking hate that film. I hate it so much. Like every time I literally have never been able to finish that film in one go. I've always had
Oh
to like
wow.
watch 15 to 20 minutes, like take like a break, like a 30-minute break doing something else, and then come back, and I keep doing that until I finish the movie because I can't sit through the entire film in one go.
That
It's not
suggests
like
you've
the
watched it
last.
multiple times.
Yeah, I guess technically, because it's not like Last Airbender or like fucking Jack and Jill or some shit where it's like, okay, this is awful, but I can sit through this entire thing. I can't sit through the entire thing of Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, I need to stop at a certain point. So yeah, that's my answer.
Nice.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these films. It's this is the second installment in this bad film franchise.
I
Um,
think I know which one this is. Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, give you a guess.
is it Transformers?
No.
Whichever one the second
No,
one
it
is
could not
called.
be further from Transformers.
Oh, the real. Okay.
It's called it's the After trilogy, and the second one, After We Collided, which is
Huh,
based
I've never heard of this. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
on a I think it's like the most popular Wattpad fan fiction of all time,
Oh wait,
which
I
is
think I might have
which is
heard
kind
of
of
this.
which if you look into it
I'm
is
gonna look
obviously
this
about
up.
Harry
Yeah.
Styles.
Oh
Um,
my God.
yeah, and for some reasons they're making this into like a they decided to make this into a film because I guess it was popular on the internet.
Oh wow.
And the second
Oh
one
my
is
God.
so bad. Like there's like a lot of undertones to it. Like where it's kind of like Twilight, where like if you like boil it down, it's quite like a toxic, like really toxic abusive relationship.
Oh
Like
god.
both of them are just horrible people, and like, but it's like oh you did this wrong. Well you did this wrong. It's like Jesus Christ! And there's so
Oh
many.
yeah,
They
I'm
have
looking
like
at them now. This looks awful. Like
I might make you
13%
guys
on
watch.
Rotten Tomatoes. Jesus,
I might make you
that's
guys watch
something.
them at some point because
Oh my
the
god.
fourth one's coming out in September.
What this is
Oh
That's gonna be the
wow,
final one.
exciting.
I've
I
already
think I've
booked
seen
my
the
tickets.
Amanda the Jedi videos on these movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's done videos on
These
them.
don't sound fun, but I guess I'll give them a go
So
if you
they're
recommend
if
the
you,
trilogy. Yeah.
yeah, it's so
Don't do
it's
that.
so they're so bad. Like um, it's just it's just awful. Like all around. Like everything that goes on in them. Like it's just like it has this there's like non-linear story. I noticed this in like every piece of fan fiction, like bad stuff that I've like read. I was about to say written, but but have you ever guys noticed like in those films, like everything just goes right for them in terms of like work, like their careers. Like it's like takes place in like this world that just like this would never happen in real life. Where it's like I like you. I'm gonna promote you because you did a good job. It's like it's like this never would happen.
Yeah.
Like so they every sex scene goes on for like 5 minutes. Like the
Oh,
one
like
I'm
The
talking.
Room.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what I'm talking about. It's the second movie. So like they break up at the end of like the last movie because it's like and then she accidentally phones him while drunk, and then he like comes to like make sure she's okay, and then they get so angry at each other, like they're just yelling at each other, and then out of nowhere they just start having sex, and then
Oh
that
my
goes on for like
god.
2 minutes. It's so like what the fuck is going
Sounds
on?
like a terrible like hentai, like an awful
Yeah,
hentai.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like if you can imagine, because it is like an adaptation of like fan fiction. It is fan fiction, and it's like
Oh, that's
just
great to hear.
yeah, it is that. And I think yeah, it is probably the worst film I've ever seen.
Hmm.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, yeah, no, there's nothing
Hmm.
worse.
Okay.
The guy who actually plays like the man in it is Ray Fiennes' nephew.
Shit, really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he's in one of the Harry Potter films. He plays like a young Voldemort.
Oh wow.
Oh, I think I know who that is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah,
while since I've seen the Harry Potter movies, but I think I know who that is. Yeah. So, yeah.
yeah. What's
Luca,
your
what
least
about
favorite
you?
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two. Um,
Oh
don't
god.
don't mean to like copy YMS or anything, but I also genuinely fucking despise The Lion King 2019 like so much.
I mean, it's fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, who even likes that movie?
No one, but like I just think I also have like a un like I don't even know the word to describe it, but just a fueling hatred for it. Like because I also really loved the first Lion King, so
No, but you
I
don't
just
understand. It's
fucking
supposed
hate.
to be realistic. It's supposed
The
to be like a
documentary
Okay,
documentary.
shush. Okay, but my actual
his
least
voice is
favorite
better now
movie
and
is
different
one
for
that
this
I've
film.
watched surprisingly recently, and it's called Geely. And
Oh,
I'm well aware of this one.
yeah, I know this one.
and this is easily my least favorite movie of all time. I fucking despise it. It is the most offensive, like boring, like just dumpster fire piece of shit fucking movie in the world. Like I fucking hate it so much.
You have to give it some credit. There were some genuinely like insane things that
There were
happened
some
Yeah.
that
insane things that
you
happened,
laugh.
but like that just makes it fucking worse. Like it just adds to the just fucking awful like
You didn't laugh when J-Lo said it's turkey time, gobble
well you were
gobble.
there. I know I didn't well I didn't
I
laugh
was
at
laughing at that. And then like the guy who plays Doug for Hangover, he plays like the most like cartoonishly like race like offensive version of like a mentally handicapped person. And then he says like baby got back like while like Ben Affleck is like cutting a thumb, and he says like penis sneeze. And that shit was just
No, I just
It's
I
the
fucking hate that
insane
movie
shit.
so much. I can't
No, and I
even.
totally understand. You
It
were
is
very unhappy when we saw that movie together, yeah.
no, it's bullshit, and I don't even want to think about it even more. So next question.
That's fair,
Fuck
yeah.
that movie.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so this question comes from Robert, who asks, "Hey guys, do you guys have idols, people, or even characters you admire and aspire to
Patrick
be
Bateman.
like?" Of course. Now let's see Paul Allen's idol.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, did you
Probably
finish the
filmmakers,
question?
honestly. Like,
Just idols.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the question. Like, who are some of your idols?
Hmm.
I guess Alex Garland is kind of an idol of mine. In terms of like what I hope to be and like what kind of like career that I hope to have, because I love writing and like I hope to be a writer and I want to write professionally. And if I could like pinpoint like a specific person who has like my dream job, that would be like Alex Garland, because he's kind of doing everything that I would love. You know, like he writes like for like he first started out as like a novelist. He wrote like The Beach, like the book of The Beach. And then he started writing screenplays for like Danny Boyle. He wrote like 28 Days Later. He wrote video games. I think he wrote a game called Odyssey to the West or something like that. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I've never played it, but like the idea of like writing for games is always something I really like. And I think he was also like a story supervisor for Devil May Cry, which is really exciting. He also writes comics. Like I think he wrote the Dread movie, I know for sure, but like, you know, he has to be a fan of the
it's
character
directing
for
on
him to
that
do
movie.
that. Yeah, and then like, you know, eventually his screenwriting eventually led him to become like a director and stuff like that. So like, you know, like ideally like Alex Garland is just like kind of a hero of mine. He's kind of like everything that I hope to be as like a writer. So like I guess he would be my idol. But I guess in terms of other people, just like whoever I consider to be like my favorite like directors and writers. So like Charlie Kaufman, Stanley Kubrick, Hayao Miyazaki, you know, all these fucking guys, you know, just basically whoever made my favorite things ever. Those are my heroes, I guess. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
This is a weird question for
mine.
me because there's a lot of people that I appreciate, but I don't really know if I like idolize any directors. Like, I don't know if there's
Mm.
anyone where I like
Not even Charlie Kaufman?
like I appreciate Charlie Kaufman and I love Charlie Kaufman and I love all of his work, but like
Mm-hmm.
the way I perceive the word idolize is like I want to be like this person. But like I don't think I want to make the types of films that Charlie Kaufman makes, even though I love them
That's fair.
so
That's
deeply.
fair. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I guess
I
I
guess I was
kind of
just interpreting idolize like very loosely too, because like
yeah.
even though I like, quote unquote idolize Alex Garland, like I don't think I would ever want to write a movie like Ex Machina or something like that.
Honestly,
So
maybe
yeah.
Luca Guadagnino, maybe.
I
I
mean,
think I
No.
idolize, like I really love his style of filmmaking, and I think that's something I would like to I don't want to say replicate but that's something that I would definitely get influence from when making my own things. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be my answer, I guess, because there's a lot of directors and stuff that I love and appreciate, but yeah, idolize is just a tricky word for me because like obviously there's always a sense of idolization to like the people that I
Yeah,
respect.
I guess you can always just like interpret it as like as loosely as possible. It's like whatever you consider to
Yeah.
be like idolized, like, you know, like it's however you want to interpret it. Yeah. So
And then in terms of
yeah, mine is
yeah, you can go, Jules. Yeah.
mine is like a it's kind of like a loose like idolize like yeah. I don't think I'd say it like that. I'm just like a big admirer of their work. It's two people actually. One is Denis Villeneuve, like I love his
Mm.
films and like what he does. And the other is Roger Deakins, the cinematographer.
yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Hmm.
Like he's
That's
done
cool.
some like great movies, like
Are you
1970s.
interested in like cinematography? Like, do you want to work with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I love
that's
making things like look pretty. Like
hmm.
Hmm.
that's probably why I'm drawn
That's
to like people like Wes Anderson so much, and
yeah. No
also
buona
Yeah.
a
Director Godfrey.
So someone that I
Mhm.
also just admire, John Powell, the musical
Hell
composer
yeah.
for like all the DreamWorks films.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, Shrek, How to Train Your
Panda Gang,
Dragon, the best ones. Yeah. So,
Kung Fu Panda.
hmm
It's like he teamed up
I
with
thought
Hans
Hans
Zimmer
Zimmer
for that
did that
one.
one. Did I thought Hans Zimmer did Kung Fu Panda?
They,
Was it
they
John
teamed
Powell?
up.
Oh,
They
okay,
teamed up
okay, yeah, yeah,
like the Dream Team.
yeah. You have the greatest composer, and then you have Hans Zimmer. So,
I do have some
uh,
issues.
hmm
Yeah.
Luca, did you have one more, or do you want us to move on to another question?
I guess I just will say I idolize anyone that can make like a really good film or like a great film with like a lower budget and like
Same.
limited resources, like
hmm
because that's what I want to be able to achieve. So yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
my
I have
answer.
great respect for like all those
It's
And
A24
hard,
directors.
you know.
I also have immense fucking respect for anyone that does stop motion work because that shit's insane and I
Yes,
love it.
Yeah,
And
that's insanely difficult. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
but yeah,
I'm
mhm.
quite
we can.
literally looking at some of my models right now.
Yeah, and like it's funny you mention that because it's like the first two short films that I ever made like look like dog shit. Like I would never like
Yeah,
show them to anyone.
Yeah,
Like if I was trying to convince someone to like hire me as like a writer or like a director, I would not show them those two because they look like absolute ass. Like I think that's why I was really proud of like the mini series that I was working on before I graduated. It's like that was easily just the nicest looking thing I've ever made, and it's like you didn't need like fucking IMAX cameras and shit like
yeah.
that. You just needed
yeah.
like just a simple camera, just the right lighting, you know, to set the mood and stuff, and that's all you really need. So yeah. hmm
Okay.
For a lot of my first films, I haven't really made many since, were like Lego
I
stop
was about
motion.
to
Like,
say, yeah, Lego
Yeah,
stop
those
motion.
are awesome to watch. Yeah, on videos. Yeah, like
yeah,
Forest Fire 101. Like
But
those shit.
when you
Those
make
videos
them
are
by
fucking
I
yourself,
love
they
those
awesome.
always
videos.
look like fucking dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay, that was a nice one.
hmm Okay. Next question is,
And,
hold on. Who's the most annoying kind of person? This
ooh.
is from JJ again.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, my answer is just simple. If you're not a dick, then you're not annoying.
But
Because I can
I'm
deal with quirks. I can deal with people's like quirks and like like things that like I don't know, like if someone like smacked their lips or something like every 5 minutes, but they can't help themselves, it's like I'm not gonna hate them for like them smacking their lips because that's just like something that they can't help themselves doing. But it's like if someone's just being a fucking asshole, it's like yeah, then like I don't want to be around you. I don't like you and stuff like that. So and in the anime community, that's an even lower standard because just everyone's just like, fucking awful. You know, it's like you just have people who just like pretend to be Japanese because they've seen a ton of anime, and then then you just have like
Whoa.
people with like anime profile pictures, and then just say like the N word and stuff like that. It's just the anime community is just really toxic, and it's like Jesus. It's like I don't need this shit. Yeah. So.
By
okay,
the most annoying kind of person to me is someone who pretends that they know something when they actually don't. Like it's like, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to accomplish? Like having been in communities of like um film enthusiasts, like I've seen it a lot. Of people that I know personally were like that, and it's like don't bullshit me. Like what the fuck is
Only two movies that are good: Citizen Kane and Taxi Driver. Everything
exactly?
else is dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily limited to like the film community, but just like people who pretend that they know stuff when
hmm
like they don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Luca.
I don't know, transphobes.
So like
No,
the bare minimum.
I think the most
Okay, well,
annoying kind of person is someone that can dish out a lot of insults and then not take like
Oh, those people
critiques
are the
yeah,
fucking
oh,
or
worst.
hate them.
insults themselves. Like someone that can just like say the worst shit to you and then you can be like lol you smell, and they'll be like, what do
Lol.
you? Yeah, like I fucking hate
Yeah,
people
but
like
but the
that.
ones that are even worse or even more cringe are just the ones that are like, "Lol, get a load of this snowflake" or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
that
like,
Yeah.
shit
come on,
as well.
can you
Yeah.
can you just
Culture
be a little
exploits.
mature, like Jesus?
Yeah, just people that
So
also just think that like whatever they say is correct and like don't want to like gain a sense of what the other person is saying like at
Yeah.
all, even if they don't believe it.
People who lock
Like,
themselves in like echo chambers.
yeah,
mhm.
exactly. That's yes, to me
Yeah,
that's the most
it's
annoying
just
kind of person.
they like jerking themselves off, you know. They just
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
think highly of themselves. Yeah. So
It's also
okay, yeah.
another. Hang on, I
Oh,
just had
sorry.
another
Yeah,
person.
finish your one step.
Had
Yeah,
another type
finish your
of
thing.
person.
Hmm.
It's people who can't enjoy things for what they are. I'm referring to like the conservatives on Twitter who just like they see
Oh
like
God.
a trans thing for 1 second in a Disney show and they're like, this is a part of Disney's woke agenda.
Oh
Like it
god.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but to be fair, they
Enjoy it for
just
what
do
it
it for
is.
fucking everything. It's like things that don't have white cis straight males are just fucking political, I guess, and then they just throw a hissy fit. It's like I haven't seen that Miss Marvel show, but apparently that Miss Marvel show is getting reviewed bomb because like the main character is like both a girl and a Muslim. It's like, what the fuck do you want? Like, it's so what, you know?
My
It's like.
films, whatever
Yeah,
you
and
say.
then like yeah, the movies are only for my kind of people, you know. It's like fuck off. And
Well,
it's
yeah.
like everyone got like really mad because like Lightyear had like two girls kissing or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like get over yourself,
That
like
really
Jesus.
like does that really like does that scene like does that determine like the whole quality of the film? Because like once you say
But
like
according to Ben Shapiro, if kids are aware that gay people exist, they'll
yeah,
want to be gay all the time. I'm like,
that's
what planet
that's
are
what
you
always
from? You know? Yeah.
they don't know, then like that's obviously just gonna go over their heads. Like how will they probably won't even see it if it's that quick.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Adventure Time when I was really young, and when I saw Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, spoilers, kissing at the end and cuddling, I was like, oh, cool. It's like, am I gay because of that? Like, I guess so,
Yeah.
according to Ben
You
Shapiro.
am.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, and okay, we can get into our last question now. And our final question is,
Alright.
given the proper resources, what would your dream movie be that you would create in terms of genre, themes, setting, etc.? And this is from Matthias. So,
Final Destination 6.
hell yeah.
That's what I would do. I literally have so much ideas. Like I could
Hmm.
literally, if they asked me to make a Final Destination 6 movie like today, I would be like, fuck yes, I'm down. Like, let me do it. I could do it.
I'd make Venom 3 and it'll be fucking hilarious and I'll make it happen. So,
No, like actually, because all the Final Destination things, they start off with like a stupid fucking
I was being
like
serious
thing.
about the Venom 3 too. I would want
Oh,
to make
oh,
Venom 3.
yeah, I know, but like, I'm just trying to justify myself. Um, all the like, the starting premonitions, they all involve vehicles. Um, but what I would do is like, okay, what if the starting premonition scene takes place in like a museum, okay? And then there's like people walking around and shit, and there's like this cool like fucking like establishing shot, like wanna like showing us all the characters, and then like shit breaks loose, and there's like fucking crushing dinosaur bones like flying everywhere. I don't know. I just think I have a good idea for Final Destination 6.
Yeah.
I think I can make a good Final Destination 6.
That's fair.
And
Yeah.
then I also have
I've
like a
never seen
legit
any of the
answer.
final. Oh yeah. I mean,
But yeah.
yeah, I've never seen a Final Destination movie, so I wouldn't be able to um
Oh no, they're great.
judge for sure. Yeah. So, but I was also being serious about Venom 3. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Nice.
I can just envision it now. Just so there's gonna be a black Venom again, but this time there's going to be a blue Venom, and
Uh,
their gook will just splatter against each other for an hour and a half. and then afterwards, um, the blue Venom will leave whoever plays the bad guy. Imagine like Jared Leto or some shit like that. Like they'll leave the blue gook will leave Jared Leto and then attach itself to Michelle Williams, and then it's gonna recreate the kiss scene from Venom 1, where when Michelle Williams had the Venom suit, she was like the big titty goth GF Venomite and Venomette and kissed Tom Hardy. And then while that happens, Venom transfers from Michelle Williams to Eddie Brock. And I just want that to happen, but this time they're both have like blue and black gunk. And then and they're gonna transfer to each other, so it's gonna be like a 30-minute like roar like gook like sloshing like Venom movie for like the last 30 minutes.
God, what
And it's gonna end the trilogy on that one. So, and I guess that's my answer. I mean, I also have like real answers to this too, but like I don't know, like I don't know how interested people are in like my ideas for like scripts and stories and stuff like that. So yeah. There you are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
I guess I can
and-
just give a small bit of a real answer. So what was the question again? Like if you just had an infinite
just like your dream
resources.
project, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you could just do whatever, like what's your dream project?
I've
Yeah.
always wanted, like, I'm very fascinated with, like, the ocean and stuff, so I've always wanted to make something, like, about, ocean life in a way, or, like, I've always had this, like, thing in the back of my mind, like, what if I made a movie about a dude that gets swallowed by a whale?
That's called the whale scene from Finding Nemo.
No, okay, this would be different.
Okay, if you say so.
It will be different because it won't be animated and it won't be for kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it could be like a good exploration of like how people perceive ocean life and like how it's mistreated in certain communities and stuff. And yeah, I think I have some cool ideas behind that concept. So yeah.
I guess I could also give like a quick like brief answer. In school I've always had this like dream idea of a project that I never just got to make into a film. It would have essentially been like a kung fu martial arts zombie horror comedy
Oh,
where
lovely.
like a karate master and his students most of his students get like infected by like zombies or whatever, so like there's like a zombie apocalypse, so him and his like instructor teachers like have to like use their like kung fu skills to like fight the zombie apocalypse and stuff like that. I've always liked those kinds of like campy B movie things, so that would have been nice to do. And another idea I've always had was like making like a serious like anime style like drama about like race and like Asian identity, but also infusing like elements of like fantastical like Miyazaki type like supernatural stuff like giant bear creatures or like fucking witches or something like that. I've always been like, just like a loose concept where it's like if I really like thought about it, like I could probably like write a story about this or something. So
Alright, that's cool.
yeah. Jules, what about you?
Mine is it might be a bit stupid, but a Muppets film. I've always wanted to direct a
yeah.
Muppets film or a
It's fine.
stop motion film.
We had silly answers too, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Muppets movie. Yeah, so anyway, yeah,
Love
that's
the
it for
Muppets.
questions. Like we said, if you want to leave questions for us to answer, just leave them at the YouTube section in comments and or DM us on socials or Discord. So whatever works for you guys. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we get into recommendations now, and I think Jules, you're first because you're the
Yeah.
closest to the alphabet, I guess. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
what are we
you're
watching for
ready
next episode?
Okay. So this
Ready
is
to
a
rumble.
Why am I scared?
This is a no, you'll like this film. This is a like a classic Australian comedy film. It is called The Castle.
Okay.
It's very hardly known to anyone outside Australia, but it's one of our best films, basically.
Hmm. Okay.
Castle. Who's
Let
the
me.
director?
From
Yeah.
1997.
1997. All right. Okay. Um, should we start off with a theme then? If you're gonna recommend an Australian movie.
Okay, yeah, you guys
Um,
recommend a
yeah, then
Sure.
I'll
I
and
was
then
gonna. I was thinking about doing something in line of this anyway. So
yeah, okay.
yeah. I.
So
yeah.
something we
Mhm.
want to do is like introduce themes to some of our recommendations, not all of them. Um, but I guess just our first theme can be recommend a country, recommend a film that comes from our country, to just to get to know us better. So I guess yeah, if
Mhm.
Jules is recommending an Australian movie, then yeah, that can be our
Yeah.
first theme.
You can do South African film, and I can do a movie from the
Oh
Americas,
wow,
which
hard
I
choice.
guess I have a ton of options to
Yeah,
pick on that one. So yeah.
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 Yeah. Eric Bana. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. This
Yeah,
looks
this was his
interesting.
like his
Yeah.
first. This was his breakout role.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
This looks interesting. I'll. Yeah. Definitely check it out. Yeah. So. Okay. Great. Yeah. I guess
yeah.
if you don't want to be spoiled
Okay,
for the
there's two The
castle.
Castles from
Oh.
1997, but I doubt it's the Michelle Haneke one.
No, yeah, no,
Okay.
no, it's not that one.
Yeah,
How
all
do you
right.
pronounce his name? Michelle Hanukkah, Michael Haneke. Like, how am I supposed to pronounce it or whatever?
I just say Michelle Haneke, but I don't know how to say it properly.
Okay, whatever. Well, either way, if you don't want to be spoiled for The Castle, 1997, directed by who directed this again?
I don't know his name off the top of my
Rob
head, actually.
Stitch.
Rob Stitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
that's
don't
it.
want to be spoiled by The Castle in 1997, Rob Stitch directed.
All right.
Watch it as we're gonna go into spoilers for next episode.
Alrighty.
So yeah, alrighty, yeah. What a day! What a diggity
What a
diggity
day.
dog! Yeah.
Yep.
So what a day! I'm imagining it's like 2 a.m. for you right now, Luca,
Yep,
or
it's 2
something,
a.m.,
right?
so let's say goodbye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.